10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
All right, hello everybody. Welcome to the Iconic Video Games Podcast. It is finally Friday. It's time to get your weekend started right. As always, I'm your host, Axle1324.
I'm Princess Zelda.
And I'm Doggy Dog 420.
And we have a very special guest with us today. Game developer here of Ghostbusters, the video game, and current professor in game development, Steve Mallory. Say hello to the chat, Steve.
Hi, chat. Hello, guys. Thank you so much for the invitation. It is totally excited to be here. As someone who's worked on several movie tie-in games like this, I'm pumped. I'm ready to talk. Let's do this.
Awesome.
Oh my gosh, we're gonna have to go over your resume here in a minute, your pedigree, if you will. But first, let's check in with the chat. We got Honeybun in first in the chat. Say hello to Honeybun, everybody. Hello, Honeybun.
Hey.
Time Drago is in.
Yay!
Are you?
Hey.
Hold on, Time Drago. I see some toilet emojis here. Are you watching this show while you're pooping and drinking?
Yeah, he's saying number two. He's taking a number two.
Yeah,
I was gonna
he
say,
has a number two,
might
and then some
number
toilet
two.
emojis. He might be pooping.
Well, he drinks beer while he's taking a number two. Now, see, that's dedication to the craft.
Let's say we're committed.
Yeah.
That's right. Boogeyman joined us. Hey, Boogeyman, thank you so much for stopping in. And he is already calling his favorite movie tie-in game Dick Tracy.
Ooh, yeah.
That's a deep cut.
Nice. All right. Luis V and my wife joins us. Of course, she's in here. Thank you so much for joining us. My lovely wife, always my number one fan. All right. So Dr. Steve Mallory is with us. And yes, he has a PhD, fully doctor. Give us your pedigree in video games real quick.
So I worked in video games for a little over a decade. It was a second career, believe it or not, for me. I worked on games at I won't say small, at an independent studio in Lewisville, Texas, called Terminal Reality. Some of the games that they made, you may or may not have heard of, like Blood Rain 2, and of course Ghostbusters, the video game.
Yeah.
We did some other titles in there as well. For a launch title for the Nintendo Wii that I worked on, Metal Slug Anthology. There was, another movie tie-in game that didn't make my top 3 list, which was Aeon Flux. After working there, I worked in a small studio that unfortunately, let me preface this by saying, every studio I've worked at so far is out of business.
Wow.
Now,
the death touch.
It sounds like I've got the death touch and that I've killed them all. But this is this was the early aughts, and it was fairly common. I worked at a small studio in Houston called Timegate. Worked on a first-person shooter there called Section 8. It was an Unreal Engine 3 launch title. Then I helped get a small studio up off the ground, like the actually starter studio, called Tornado Studios, that was based out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. And we did another. we worked on like 2 or 3 games, and then we weren't able to get another contract, so we shut down there. In total, I have about 12 to 14 credits on everything from the PlayStation 2 and Xbox, all the way up to, at the time, the latest PC, iPhone, and Android builds. Went back to school at the University of Texas at Dallas. So if we have any people in Dallas and you're thinking about going to school, go to UTD in their now Arts and Humanities program. Go see Dr. Evans, sign up, and become an awesome game designer. She's an awesome individual, and the staff and folks there will set you on the right path.
Nice.
Basically got my master's and my PhD there. Leveraging my professional experience to translate into a PhD, which I'm now teaching at a small technical school in Detroit, Michigan, called Lawrence Tech University. where myself and the other half of my brain, her name is Dr. Ahu Yolach, she and I are like the yin and the yang, the good cop and the bad cop for the game design program up here. And we've completely revitalized it, revamped it, and we're hitting the ground running with an entirely new program this year that fully embraces Unreal Engine. We're teaching artists and designers how to work with Unreal, how to get things set up so that not only could they get a career making video games, which is kind of like our target goal, but how they can work well at working in virtual environments. So have we seen The Mandalorian, for example?
Yes. And
Okay.
they're using actual CGI backgrounds instead of green screens.
That's all done in Unreal.
Yeah.
The Unreal video game engine. So the skills that we're trying to teach the students go into that as well. So that's kind of where I am. I still work on games when I can, but between my research and my teaching, it's I get done what I can get done. I'm really excited to be here. Like I said, I had a chance to work on a couple of games. That were directly connected to films, and I'm interested to see from everyone else if this other game, if the Aeon Flux game, was on your list, because it definitely was not a big selling film, even though it had Charlize Theron involved in it. So yeah, I'm excited. Like I can't wait to talk about it and like see what everyone else's impressions of these games were. So, but
awesome.
Just to clarify, I started as a level designer, which I was where the rubber meets the road, right? All the programmers make their cool stuff, all the artists make their cool stuff. I was the one that kind of put it together in the experience everyone plays, and then I moved into game design. So we'll talk about. I'm sure Ghostbusters, the video game, is going to come up, and we will talk about. I'll talk more specifically about some of the stuff that I did that I know every one of you interacted with.
Oh yeah!
All right, awesome. I love it. I love that there's an actual developer here with so many games under his belt.
Great.
Yes. We have a question from the chat real quick. Ty Drago asks, "Does doing a movie tie-in game contribute to having less time and money to develop a game? Because it seems that too often that when a license is required, a studio goes under."
So quickly, does a movie tie-in game contribute to having less time and money? It usually contributes to a very abbreviated production schedule. So the average video game usually takes 2 to 3 years to make, just on average. Some take longer, some take less. Let's just say 2 years is your average. Most tie-in games take about 18 months. And if you think 4 to 6 months is getting it certified and bug tested and approved by the studio, whoever has control over the video game property, you've got about a year from start to when you need to be done. Sometimes you get more time, like if you're working with an older IP, like Ghostbusters, the video game. Other times you get a little over a year. And I think that I don't want to say the studio goes under as a result, but that's just kind of that's a whole nother discussion. Basically, you don't have a lot of time to make a video game, usually for a licensed property, is what it boils down to. And that's why nobody really talks about that's a great question. You're right. It's a great question. The reason why you don't hear a lot about Game of the Years that are movie tie-ins is because they had a year to do it. So,
ow. Yeah. Boogeyman says 1 year to make a good game with a cohesive story sounds like living that crunch time life.
Yes.
All right. Well, there you go. Again, thank you so much for joining us and for answering that.
Yeah, that was awesome.
All right, so we all played some really bad movie tie-in games, guys.
Oh yeah.
But every now and again, a lot of us play some really good movie tie-in games that seem to have taken years to make, even though some of them may not have. like the goat, which I think Doggy picked the goat here this
Oh,
this time around.
Oh, did I? All right.
Yeah, I think so.
All right.
And if he doesn't take it, I'm going to take it. But we'll talk about that one later. So all these games that are on this list either are movie IPs where the IP got its start from movies, or direct tie-ins to a movie. So like, and I like using Spider-Man as an example, right? So like Spider-Man is not a movie IP, it got its starts in comics, all that good stuff. But if you're talking about like Spider-Man 2 on the PS2, that's a direct tie-in to the movie Spider-Man 2. So that game would count. So it has to have a direct tie-in to a movie IP or a movie in specific. So with that being said, let's get started with our list. And as always, our guests go first. So we're going to go right back to Steve and ask him what is his first game that he's going to bring up.
Okay, so my first game that I'm going to bring up is an oldie but a goodie. But it is, and I'm old. You know, you can see the gray hair, right? You know, I'm one of the olds. No, okay, boomers. Okay, I'm not that old. But
Gen
my
X
first
talk,
game,
guys. Gen X
yeah, is the 1983 Star Wars, developed by Atari for the arcade. Let's see. Yes.
Yeah, just look at those vector graphs.
So these wonderful raster graphics. This is back in the day when you had a lot of sprite animations, and you could see the engine is just chugging, right? But this was the first game, one of the first games that attempted to do digitized voices. So it's hard to hear if you're in the arcade and everything is going on around it. But when you first loaded the game and started it, you would hear a synthesized version of Luke Skywalker saying Red 5 standing by. And it had occasional dialogue drops from the film. What made this incredible is that for the first time you felt like you were in sequences directly from the film. This came out, like I said, in 83. I think Star Wars, the movie, came out in 77. Empire Strikes Back was 82 or 83 about this time. So it was launched in time for Empire. And this game, there's so much about it lends itself to how you can take a great video game IP, not necessarily follow it exactly. Like you aren't following exactly the story here, but it's close enough to the feel of the sequences that from the film that people got it.
Yep.
Yes. Wow. What a fantastic choice. Let's check in with our chat. Titan Drago says, I played that game.
It's a classic. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
Oh, go ahead. That's all right.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I know that they remade a new version. So if you've been to Dave & Buster's, they have like that Star Wars pod, and one of the games is basically a newer version of this. And I tell you, this still holds up, even though, like I said, what is it? Almost 50
years,
83, so
40
years old.
Yep.
I am old. 40 years later, this game still holds up both as a game. It's fun to play, and it still looks, again, pretty good for when you think of other games that came out in the 80s, like Pac-Man, are all sprite based. This is vector and 3D.
Vector, cool. Yeah, this is cool vector graphics. Yep. Yeah.
Vector raster graphics. Yep.
Oh yeah.
What a fantastic game here. Shout out to Fastback. He joins us.
Yeah, Fastback. What's up, bro?
Hello.
Let's move into Princess Zelda. Princess Zelda. This 1983 Star Wars. Have you played it?
Although I have played many Star Wars video games, this was not one of them.
Oh, you're missing out. You got to go to Dave & Buster's.
I didn't live by a Dave & Buster's. I still don't live by a Dave & Buster's.
I'm putting you in the book now.
I'll check it out. I'll check it out.
Doggy, have you played this game?
Yeah, this game is great, man. I remember playing this at it was called Showbiz Pizza, like back in the day over in Terre Haute and stuff. But yeah, just the yoke controller thing was cool.
Yeah,
like you said, the voices was cool. Like, you know, if you kid infatuated with the Star Wars. That voice was cool. It had the music going on. The graphics, like you said, the vector graphics, man, just man, yeah, he summed it up pretty good. But yeah, this was a classic. It still holds up. The arcade 1-up community saw it, one of the most sought after ones. I wish I would have got it when they had it out back in the day, but I missed that. I think they're going to re-release it though. They'll probably re-release it next year. It's 40 years, so I'll be getting in on that train. But yeah, this brings back a lot of memories. This is a great choice. You know, this is if you ever played this, you'd have to love it. You know, I mean, just.
Oh yeah, and I forgot that this came in 2 versions, didn't it? It came with a stand-up with a yoke,
stand up and sit down. Yep.
The sit-down one, it was so good.
Yep, sit down was great. The sit down was great.
The sit down one.
The sit down was way more rare. Yep.
Yeah. So this one, I played this game by mistake.
Oh.
Because I wanted to play the newer Star Wars one, the one where you get to fight Darth Vader with the lightsaber.
Mm-hmm.
So I got around. I found this game. I'm like, oh, it's Star Wars. Without even looking at the screen, right? I put in my money into the machine, and lo and behold, it was this game. And I was like, what the heck is this? This isn't the Star Wars game I want, because I wanted the newer one. But after playing it, I got it, and I destroyed 1 Death Star. As you know, the Death Star is the boss at the end of the wave. So the game is wave based. You fight wave 1, wave 2, I think it's a total of 6 or 8 waves. I don't remember. Whoa, Doug,
yeah, I got him. Yeah,
Zelda.
I'm making sure I'm the one that.
Yeah.
Make sure.
So one of the things that's really awesome, if you rewind it, can you rewind the video to where he's flying in toward the Death Star, and pause it. Okay, back up like 5 seconds. Now there's writing on the Death Star, so if you time it, it says "May the Force be with you."
Nice,
like written like lights on.
It does. Okay, I see it. May the Force be with you. Oh my gosh, you're right.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's great. Nice, man.
Nice.
That's cool.
Yeah, there it is. Now you can see it even better.
Right, yeah. That's great.
Wow. Yeah, so this so I played this game by accident. It's wave based, and I only put one credit in because I was poor. So I did play this game by accident, and even though this game came out right as I was born, so by the time I got to my preteens, when I was going to the arcade and discovered arcades and the awesomeness that they were, the other Star Wars game came out, so I actually ended up playing this game by accident. And it might have been at the laundromat, because that's where I spent a lot of my quarters, was at the laundromat arcades.
Oh, yep.
Because I was bored doing laundry. So with my whole family. So yeah, it's a good game. Don't get me wrong. It's good for what it was, and it's good for what it is. And it does. I played the stand-up version with the yoke. But yeah, it makes you feel like you were flying an X-wing, and this is actually what made me buy X-wing versus TIE Fighter on my PC later on. So yeah, this is a great movie tie-in, direct movie tie-in to the first Star Wars game, to the first Star Wars movie. Fantastic choice, Doctor. Let's check in with the chat that I can't check in with. So Boogeyman says Phantom 2040 falls under that rule, as it's tied to the animated movie of the same name. Yeah. So you got the concept of what we're doing here. It has to have a direct tie-in to some games. Let's see. Shout out to Fastback, who joins us. Fastback, thank you so much for joining us. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share this out with a buddy or two. It really helps us. Fastback says he was 9 years old when this came out.
Let's see, 83. I was 7, and I spent a lot of money on that game.
Doggy, you were 5.
Yep. Yeah, it had been out for a little bit when I played it. So. Oh, and Axel is muted.
Yes. Depending on the time of the year, I may have been still 0 years old.
All right, well there you go. That's the best time to start playing.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's see. The 32X version of Star Wars is basically a 3D reskin of that one. Yeah. Yeah. General Spartan joins us. Hey, General Spartan, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you. Crazy Greek Dude is in. Thank you so much. We got some people we're not going to talk about.
Yeah.
Let's see. The gamer playing this gameplay was way better than me. Yeah. You always find those speedrunners on the internet.
You know, we made it big when we got that weird bot in our chat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's right. When you get the bots in, you know you made it. Fastback says, Luke saw that, May the Force be with you, and blew it up. Let's see. Crazy Greek Dude was 4 in 83.
-4. He was not here.
Oh, -4. Sorry. He was -4. There you go. Boogeyman says, I wasn't but a twinkle in someone's eye, still yet to be born the next year. There you go. Some of you weren't even born yet when this came out, but that doesn't mean you can't experience great older games. There are some gems out there, guys. Just because the game is old doesn't mean it's not good.
Yeah.
Yep. At least that's what I tell my wife. Just because I'm old. I'm kidding. Okay, let's move on to our next one. Princess Zelda. What is your next game?
So it is no secret that I love fantasy and all of those wonderful things that go along with that, but I'm also a huge Disney fan. I've always loved all things Disney. So when I was asked this question, which game would I choose? The very first thing that popped in my head was Aladdin. Is it the greatest game ever made? To me, yes. No, I'm kidding.
Oh.
No, but I just love, and I still love, I love the ideal of being Princess Jasmine on the carpet. And although, you know, you're just like, it was just so fun and magical. And to me, it's always amazing to get a little piece of Disney. I love him. See, I love everything about, I love this game. It's so fun.
The Aladdin tie-ins were actually very good. Yeah. Dr. Mallory, have you played this game?
I have. Now, I played it on the Genesis, but I was a Genesis kid growing up. But this game, and there were several others like it, the animation always felt like it came out of the studio. Like this felt like something, they nailed the look and feel of the movie with the game. So it's definitely, he didn't go around looking for green gems in the movie. Yes, we know all this. But iconically, visually, the game that it's about. And it has the spirit of it. So, and it's a cool platformer that did lip mantling and stuff like that before other games did it. So, this well.
That's awesome. Doggy, did you play Aladdin on the Super Nintendo?
Was this on Super or was this on the Genesis? I think I played this on Genesis, right?
So a version of Aladdin did come out in the Genesis, but it wasn't exactly the same. There was 2 versions.
Okay.
But I guess they're close enough that you can say if you played one, you've kind of played the other.
I played the Genesis one, yeah. This isn't the Genesis one for sure.
No. This is the Super Nintendo one. Correct, Princess Zelda?
Yes.
That's the one we're talking about, right? The Super Nintendo?
Yes, I was a Nintendo.
Okay. Well,
no way.
This looks cool, though. Yeah.
No way.
Right. So I actually played both the Genesis and the Super Nintendo ones. The difference between the Genesis and the Super Nintendo one was that in the Genesis, you had an attack button where you threw apples. And in the Super Nintendo, you didn't have an attack. So it was all dodge and platforming. And also in the Genesis, you could not glide, but in the Super Nintendo, you could. And that's it. And I believe the Super Nintendo one was developed by Acclaim, and the Genesis one was done by Virgin Interactive.
That sounds right. Yeah, good.
I think that's correct. I could be wrong, chat. Don't take me to court on that one because I might be lying. But yeah, this game, what I love about it is you're right. And Disney did actually do a lot of these animations themselves, which is what makes these 16-bit Disney games so spectacular. Was the actual animators from the movies would work on these games, so they would actually draw these animations out and digitize them, or the studios would digitize them for the sake of the video game. So that's why it looks so awesome to me. So yeah, this game is definitely a must play. It's definitely a great game. And like I said, You can only bounce on people to hurt them. You do not get an attack button. And I got to tell you, the carpet scene in this one is very different than the carpet scene on the Genesis, because I think the carpet... Let me see if I can find it real quick. I think the carpet scene in this one was where the camera was coming at you.
There it goes.
I believe. I think I'm right. No. Okay, no. So yeah, you can see it kind of doesn't look red. And of course, that was back then with Disney, they didn't really want to put death. So it was a sandstorm back then on the Super Nintendo, super family friendly. But in Genesis, it was lava. and it was way harder, in my opinion. But still a great game. I do like that it had little mini games in between the levels. That definitely broke it up. So yeah, fantastic choice, Princess Zelda. Let's check in with the chat real quick. Let's see. Aladdin and Lion King. We played so much of those two. Crazy Greek Dude. Yes. Another one also including some animations from the studio itself. I rode the Aladdin carpet at Disney World with my daughter. I did not know that was an actual ride.
Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah.
Boogerman says, fun fact about Disney's Aladdin and Lion King. Both were artificially lengthened due to a study Disney had done, which said if you could beat a game in 6 hours, kids wouldn't rent it twice. I do remember that study.
And wow, you want to talk about like a deep cut from the Star Wars video game. Now we have a deep cut about video game rentals. Wow.
Renting video games.
That is
Blockbuster, baby.
Cut.
Hollywood Video. Or they would beat it and not buy it.
That was the best, though, if you could beat it and not have to buy it. I agree with that.
Yeah.
So they are right. That study is accurate.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. If I beat a game when I rented it, I was not buying it. But then again, I only bought 2 games a year, and they were usually newer releases. So, yeah.
Or if you got really lucky and rented a game and found a save file that was like halfway or 3/4 of the way through the game, you're like, I can beat it now.
I would get so mad if somebody would delete my save file and a video game I would rent more than once. For some reason, I took offense to it back in the day.
Right, I couldn't believe they would, delete where I was at. How could you do that?
How
Use your own file. Yeah.
There was 3 files. There was 3
slots
files
here,
on
guys.
there.
There's 3 slots.
Yeah, 3 slots.
You don't need one.
That's right. Let's see. And he says that both studies were done on the Genesis. I played Aladdin on Genesis and Lion King on SNES.
I played Lion King.
The only movie game I played was Toy Story 2. I still have it.
It's a good game.
Was Toy Story 2 on the Super Nintendo or was it on the PlayStation by that time? I don't remember. Dragonheart Yobi, shout out to Yobi. Thank you so much for joining us. Doug, the news about Marvel vs. Capcom the cabinet.
I saw that earlier. That cabinet looks incredible. They did a good job with that. Has some good games on it. That the community is real happy with that. Yeah, it looks real good. I'll have to wait for a sale. It was a little pricey, but I'll wait for a sale. Marvel vs. Capcom 2 got to be in the collection here somewhere. So yeah, I was happy, Yobi. And thanks for joining us, Yobi.
Thank you, Joby, for coming in. I don't know which trailer I should pick because this game is made by WB, so I know that they're going to do a visual copyright.
All
right, Doggy, what is your?
Game? I did that with a few here. All right, so my first one is like what they call Traveler's Tales. Man, they do the Lego games, right? I've played so many classic renditions of their own. The Indiana Jones, some Marvel stuff, whatever. Just any kind of movies you can think of, but they were kind of getting stale. You know what I'm saying? The Lego games are starting to get stale. I played a lot of them with Willow and stuff. We had a good time playing them, but I just got tired of the same old, same camera angles, same little puzzles, got quirky puzzle stuff. But I see this year that Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga is coming out, right? And I saw I had this new kind of the PlayStation view, the over the shoulder view. You know what I'm saying?
Shoulder, third person.
And I picked this game up, right? This game was great, man. Just it wasn't like super hard or nothing, but just like the gunplay in this, the flying in the ships. You had little trench trench battles, you had pod racing, you had flying in the sky. It has a combo system, new upgrade system. The graphics in this bad boy, just you're playing this and you kind of forget you're playing a Lego game. It does look pretty good for a Lego game. They really did a great job on that. But really, what they did great also is they told all 9 movies with the usual Lego humor, but they told it so well. I enjoyed every second of this. Just like I said, the weapons and the gunplay was all just so much fun. But yeah, the way they told the stories and everything with their own humor, I had to go back and start watching the Star Wars from the beginning again, because I was like, oh man, I got to go check all this out again. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, if you guys, the open world is so fun. There's so much to do. It's more fun it's more open world than the old Lego games where there's just, it's a new look on Lego games, man. I know you guys probably all played one here or there, or here, you know, but this one was really fun. If you're a fan of Star Wars, I guarantee you'll like this game. Pick it up on sale, you know, pick it up this, it might be on sale right now on this game sale that's going on, you know. So yeah, pick this bad boy up. You'll enjoy it. If you love Star Wars, you're gonna love this.
Amazing. Steve, have you played this game?
This particular one, no, not yet. So I have 2 kids, a 16-year-old and a 12-year-old. They started playing games together using Traveler's Tales games. They played Lego Indiana Jones. They played Lego Star Wars. They played all of them, but they're kind of at that point that I think they're kind of too cool to play it. Mm-hmm. So this is on my wish list, but I have not had a chance. Doggy, I need to take your advice. I need to check out Steam, check out Epic Store, see if it's on sale right now, and go pick it up.
Yeah, if you see this for like $40, it's so worth it, and it just doesn't feel like a kiddie game. It's like I said, it's not real hard or anything, but when you're walking through with that gun, and you actually aim on different stuff, and I don't know, the combo system that builds up, it's way more fun than they used to be. It's, you know, it's still kind of mindless fun, but yeah, just these flying. Okay, sorry. Okay, I'll just keep playing. Yeah, you should definitely try her out though. It's
I need to. Let me go find. See what's on sale.
Yeah, and it's just like I said. It just tells, if you're a Star Wars fan, you're just gonna love it. You know, it's the light humor they put up in there. So
nice. Princess Zelda, have you played Lego Star Wars?
I have. I love this choice. It brought me joy as soon as I saw it. I love their charismatic faces. And just like Doggy said, everything about this is just pure fun. It's not childish. It's just fun.
It's just fun.
Yeah, well said. Well said, yeah.
Fantastic. So I myself have never played anything beyond the first Lego Star Wars. I did not like the Lego Star Wars, the very first one that came out, to the point that I boycotted them.
Wow.
I didn't like those. Those were not like this.
So, but this one, seeing as it changed to over the shoulder instead of the weird, now you're in this quarter, so you get this view. Now you're in this quarter, you get this view. Now you're in this quarter, you get this camera angle. You know, the fix, I call it the on-rails camera because it follows you through the corridor to a certain length and then it changes. Mm-hmm. It basically changes tracks.
Yep.
I hated that. I absolutely hated it. So, I've never played it, but I am interested in Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga. But I am waiting for a deep sale.
Hey, I can't blame you, but you'll be glad.
I am talking yard sale for $1 sale, guys.
It will make it there eventually. So yeah, all right.
It's just in due time. Everything in due time.
You'll thank me then.
And it's just because for me, playing that game is just like taking a flyer. You know, like to me, it's taking a huge chance to invest into something that I didn't enjoy the first one. So, yeah, there we go. Let's see. Boogeyman says Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga is awesome, best one by far.
Right?
John 907I joins us. Hey, what's going on, John 907I? And Dragon Hard Yobi got his manners. He says, "Hello, everybody on the panel. Hello, Yobi." All right, so my first game. Hold on one second. For some reason, I didn't pull up the trailer. So, I love strategy games. I love building games, sim games, basically, because I don't know. There's just something about managing the management side of managing a city or managing a country or managing a theme park that gets to me. And if you knew me when I was younger, I loved dinosaurs. I started digging in my own backyard, hoping I would find a dinosaur bone. No kidding. True story, guys. Okay. So for me, my first game that I'm going to talk about is Jurassic World Evolution. So if you know this game, you get to build the Jurassic World parks, and you have to manage them. And the game throws in disasters, power failures, storms, all that good stuff. You got to manage your money. You got to manage your research and all this stuff. So you start off with basically nothing. You can build like a basic herbivore and a basic carnivore. But if you want the bigger dinosaurs, you got to save up for them. And certain dinosaurs do good with other dinosaurs. So I love playing this game because I like designing the park and thinking it through. Should I put this here? Should I put that there? And it's like a zoo. It's just a giant zoo. But it also has like a first person thing. Like if your dinosaurs get sick, you can actually administer the medicine to them. If they get out, you get to hunt them down with some tranquilizer, of course. So it's a really fun management game, in my opinion. And you also go to manage different parks in different areas, and certain areas, of course, have different weather. So certain dinosaurs don't do so great in certain weather, or they get agitated easy, or they get sick easier. So you gotta when you're researching your dinosaurs, you gotta research. Is this dinosaur going to be good for here? Is this dinosaur going to be good for that? And then you can also splice genes into your dinosaurs, which is really fun. Like you can splice colors into them. You can splice more predatory. Like you can make them super aggressive where they'll kill anything that moves. It's actually pretty funny. So yeah, there you go. This is my first game. Has anybody else played this game? Princess Zelda.
I've watched Titan play the second one. He loves these types of games, but I have not played it personally, no.
There you go. Steve, have you played this one?
I'm going to have to say no, but I'm going to go to my old standby excuse. I think the first and second ones both came out while I was working on my dissertation and doing all my academic studies. So I had to read a lot. So I'm going to hide behind my books, like my academic books right now.
Unbelievable using the books as a shield. Doggy, have you played this one?
No, I haven't played this. Looks pretty cool.
Not surprising that nobody on my panel prefers the simulation guys. We are a minority, unfortunately. Crazy Greek Dude says, I spent hundreds of hours on SimCity, SimCity 2000, Roller Coaster Tycoon 1 and 2. Yep.
I love SimCity.
The second one on Game Pass is really good. Exactly. It's on Game Pass. That's how I got it. Awesome games from John 979. Boogeyman says he owns both because of dinosaurs. Absolutely. No other reason. And John 979 says that they have to be in the right population. Exactly. You can't put a little herbivore against a really aggressive dinosaur. So yeah. Jurassic World Evolution 2. Go ahead and get it, guys. It does have a lengthy campaign. Well, I guess the campaign can be lengthy if you mess around. But if you get straight to the point, the campaign can go rather quickly. Let's see. Crazy Greek Dude says, I tried this game but didn't stick with it. Need a lot of time if I'm going to play it. Yes, you do. Yeah. Because you run out of money. And then what sucks about management games is when you run out of money and you have to wait to make it back to do the next step. Shout out to my mom. She joins us. Hello,
hey,
Mom. Thank you so much.
Hey.
All right. Let's go. And I think that's it for the first round of video games. Holy cow, we went a long time. I didn't even notice. I did not notice. I was having such a good time.
That was a round right there. That was a round.
Yeah, wow. All right. So with all that being said, guys.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Do we have a game this evening for you? This evening we are playing What Game Is It? You will see a brief 10-second clip of a video game based on a movie, And your job is to guess, what game is it? Are you ready?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Woo!
All right, so you are gonna see a clip of a game.
All right.
And now all these games are based on movie properties.
Okay.
Okay, so think movies, guys. If you've seen the movie, you probably know what the game is.
Okay.
And I'm actually having trouble finding the first one. Oh my god.
All right. That's okay.
Vamp,
That's all right.
vamp. Keep it going.
Yeah,
Little soft shoe or something like that.
Dr. Mallory, I have to know, were you the good cop or the bad cop?
In what situation?
You were
It can
referring to
change.
you. You're referring to you and
Oh.
your partner being yin yang, good cop, bad cop.
Oh, I'm the bad cop. I am totally the bad cop. Like, I'm the one that tells. I'm the one that tells students that like I'm pretty hard on my students. Mainly because I'm not too hard. Like, I'm not gonna come in and tell them they suck, but I'm gonna tell them this is how you fix it, right? Like, it's wrong, and this is why. This is how you fix it. Because once you get in the industry,
this is the worst code
they are going to get
in
told
like
they suck.
23 years. I'm doing this. That'd be so fun.
So yeah, I'm definitely the bad cop.
All right.
Noted.
Okay, I have our first game pulled up. Everybody ready?
All right.
To
Let's
make
do
this
it.
easier, I'm gonna play this with sound.
Oh.
Okay.
So we are gonna play this with sound. Oh, you know what? I didn't even set up the poll. Oh my gosh. What game is it, guys? This just goes to show you.
We can't say what game it is. That would kind of ruin it.
Well, I mean, it's not super obvious which one it is. All right, here we go.
All right.
All right, the poll is up.
I love
Here we
this.
go.
This is
First
gonna be
guess
awesome. All right, let's do
coming
this.
in. Now, by the way, guys, this is really loud on my end, so take it easy on me, okay? All right,
Okay.
here we go.
It's all good.
1, 2, 3.
Oh,
What game is it? What game is it? All right.
I think
All right,
it's
Princess
Alien
Zelda,
3.
I know you don't know this because I got to pick it. So, what is your vote, Princess Zelda? What is your guess?
I'm going with Alien 3.
Okay, she's going with Alien 3. Steve, which one do you think it is?
Oh, it is definitely 3 times the suspense, 3 times the action, and 3 times the horror. Because in space, no one can hear you scream 3 times. It's Alien 3.
All right. And Doggy, which one are you going?
Well, after that, even if I had been completely convinced that it was one of the other 2 games, I'm going with Alien 3. Let's go.
Let's go. All right. We'll give the chat a few more minutes to pick which one it is while I get set up for the next one.
Why be wrong? I'm just going to go with the right answer here.
Cheers, Doggy.
Yeah.
Cheers,
Oh.
Doggy, cheers.
I ran out. Oh.
Oh no, go refill.
Oh, yeah, you can refill. That's all good.
Reload.
I do that a couple times. a day.
Level up.
Yeah, level up.
Level
There you
up.
go. That's what it is.
By the way, I'm trying to find like the worst version of this game to make them hard to guess. So like, even though you'll get a lot of things here, you shouldn't be able to tell what I'm putting up. Princess Zelda, if you get this next one wrong, I am going to be heavily disappointed.
Well, there's pressure.
Hello.
All right,
So do you want to go last?
Yes, I would like to go last.
I'll go first this time. Yes, it's like kind of.
Yay. Oh no, I think I'll know the next one. Okay, I saw what the theme was.
Split
All right,
difference in the
and
house.
shout out to Mike
Oh, more than
Wallace
Mike.
who joins us. You're still in now. Mike Wallace is a huge fan of movie tie-ins, so he should be really enjoying this one.
Oh yeah.
Here. All right, let's see. Splendiferous. By the way, shout out to Splendiferous for joining us. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
This is
Thanks,
Aliens.
friend.
My wife votes Alien 1. All right. So the correct answer is, hold on to me, and the poll is actually
Drum roll.
Alien 3 on the Super Nintendo.
Knew it all along. I had no doubt in my mind. No doubt.
No doubt in my mind.
Not after Steve said so.
That's on Zelda over there. Like, I was just following her lead.
Right.
I heard him say
she
it
always
first.
knows. She always knows. All right. That was awesome. That was good.
You know what? They're just going to have to use their imagination of which game this is because these titles are way too long.
All right, yeah. Not even no choice this time. This is even better.
That's right.
Yeah, no choice. There's no choice this time. We'll go second.
No
second one's no choice. No choice. Let's do it.
All right, here we go.
Do it.
Here we go. Next game. Is everybody ready? All right.
Yeah.
Choices are up.
Oh, they are up. Okay.
Here we go.
I'm so
I'm going to
excited.
hit play. Here we go. Let's hope that this is a good section. I actually don't know. And here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Oh, I know it. Oh, no, I don't know it.
All right, that was it. 10 seconds of the game clip.
Man.
All right. So we're going to go to Princess Zelda because she thinks she knows it last. So first we're going to go to Steve. Steve, which Harry Potter game was that?
Is that Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets?
I don't know. Is it?
Yes. For sure it is.
Doggy, which one is it?
Oh, I know. There's no question whatsoever. The Philosopher's Stone, right there.
All right. Princess
You guys
Zelda,
know
which
I know
Harry
my
Potter was that?
stuff. Yeah.
So when I first saw it, I thought it was Moaning Myrtle coming through the Chamber of Secrets. So that's where my mind went first. And then I saw they were like ghosts. So I'm going to still stick with Chamber of Secrets.
All right, 2 votes for Chamber of Secrets, 1 vote for
Yeah.
the Philosopher's Stone.
Not feeling too good about my pick anymore.
I'm not sure with all those ghosts, man.
My wife is saying Chamber. So yeah, let's give the chat a few more seconds here to decide what game it is.
Yeah, I think the only person that voted for mine was me. All right. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, this person is back.
No.
How are you back, dude? Nobody
You
wants
know,
to.
spam accounts.
Oh, it's a different one. Yeah, they changed it up a little.
So
Hey, you know
they're
what
back.
you can do to stop that kind of stuff is put it in subscriber mode.
Yeah, but I don't have enough subscribers to do that.
Oh no! Oh, our awesome chat is subscribers for sure. I know. You guys are.
Well, there you go. Okay, song is over. So the correct answer, chat. Now that we took care of that,
I think I got it out of there.
Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets.
I knew it. Good job. I knew I was done for after that. Yeah.
Princess Zelda.
Great question, Axel. The chat, half of them went with the Chamber of Secrets for the win.
Well, the win, Chamber of Secrets. All right, everybody must have played that one. And shout out to Noof Nukem who joins us. Boom, boom, kaboom. Noof Nukem is in the room. Guys, Noof Nukem will be restarting his podcast every Tuesday, I believe, at 9 p.m.
September the 6th.
Well, 9 p.m. my time. I guess it's 10 p.m. Eastern time.
Yep.
Eastern.
Yep, here in about a month. So be sure to catch it, guys.
September the 6th. I believe. I think that's right.
That's right. So be sure to catch that. And that's going to do it for our first intermission, everybody. Mute. Hopefully everybody enjoyed that little movie time game because we thought it would be fun.
Yeah.
Little trivia. All right, Steve, are you ready for your next game?
I am as ready as I'll never be.
Nicely said. All right.
All right.
So
what is your next game?
So my next game is one of the last of the great point-and-click adventures. Developed in 2000, was it 2003? No, 95, 96. Called Star Trek The Next Generation, A Final Unity. What is wild about this particular game is developed, I think, by Spectrum Holobyte, or they were the publishers. So this is like a 3D rendered at times, point and click adventure puzzle game that was a direct tie-in to the syndicated television series Star Trek: The Next Generation. Down to the point where when you first load up the game, it has a cold open like the television show. So you start it up and it just drops you in. And when you get to the end of the first sequence, there is a title sequence. Like you're watching the TV show. And it has opening credits, just like all of the voice actors and their likenesses are voiced by the same actors. So Patrick Stewart, all of the rest are actually doing it. This was it was so well done that it actually takes place. The Star Trek people, like my people, I'm a huge Star Trek fan, actually, based on the costumes and the star dates listed, can tell you what 2 episodes of season 5 or 6 this takes place between. Like,
wow,
if you they this actually fits in the timeline. So while this is not a direct film connection, it is so well done. It is so close to being an actual televised property that it might as well have been its own either made-for-TV movie or series. It is fantastic. It's linear as all get out, like all games like it. But this is kind of like the swan song for this type of game, this point-and-click adventure. And it's so well done. If you have a chance to get it, if you have a chance to emulate it, play through it once. I think the full playthrough is like 5.5 or 6 hours. So, I mean, it is a very in-depth puzzle game, but it's good. It's a good one.
That's right. Princess Zelda, have you played or heard of this game?
As much as I love puzzle games, this is not my bag.
You didn't finish the phrase star. Bad word. It's not my bag. Doggy, have you played this game?
I have not played this, and I don't think I've ever played any Star Trek game. Nothing against the Star Trek or nothing, but I just never got into that back in the day. You know, I don't know why. I just didn't. You know what I'm saying? So, but no, I'm not like I like Star Wars, and I've heard Star Trek's like deeper and everything else. You know, so but I just, for whatever reason, I never got into that. The Next Generation and all that was on back in because that was the one that was on like when I was growing up and stuff. And I just never got into that. So
sure,
but I'm sure I'm missing out. Tons. But
this is a deep cut.
So I've never played this game, but I wanted to play this game. This was an old MS-DOS computer game. Now, I did not have the computer to run this game. So if you know the old internet days, you could download these games if you knew the right AOL chat rooms to be in, right? And so I downloaded said game, installed said game, but I couldn't run it on my crappy computer. So I was very sad and disappointed, and I never played it. And the friend that did have the computer to run this wouldn't let me install it on his computer because he didn't want Star Trek on his computer. So I never got a chance to play this game. And by the time I did get a computer, it was I had forgotten about the game. So it's kind of funny that here, 30 years later, I'm being reminded, hey, remember how you wanted to play this game? It's kind of a little funny. But I did play a Star Trek game, but not this one. But I did hear about it. Because me and my friends are Trekkies, and we wanted to play this game together. Me and my friends that lived down like a block away, we would walk to each other's houses to play games, and neither of our crappy computers could run it. So we were very sad. Shout out to Noof Nukem. Again, so he says that his podcast will be on at 10 Eastern on September 6th.
Yep.
Again, be sure to check it out, guys. Mark your calendars. Noof Nukem says, hello, Steve.
Hey, Duke or Nuke. Noof. I'll get there sooner or later. Noof Nukem.
That's right. And and Mike Wallace says that was Interplay Interactive. They were very
right. Okay.
Click, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. And Noof says Rip Nichelle Nichols. Uhura.
Uhura. Yeah.
Uhura passed away. Lethal Terminus joins us. Hey, Lethal, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you. Jason Max says, just remember, Xbox is number one. Thank you so much for joining us. And Kilo Milo's here. Hey, Kilo Milo, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you. All right, so good pick, but these non-Trekkies, they just don't know the right sequences. Princess
we'll forgive them this time.
Not like Star Trek? Like
not at all.
Not at all.
I tried. I tried once or twice, and it's just
It's so funny because I'm subscribed to Paramount Plus, and if you are like a Trekkie, Paramount Plus is like the golden child. Like every Star Trek is on there, every new Star Trek is on there. And I love the cartoon Star Trek, the Lower Decks, because it's so different than always following the officers. It's such a breath of fresh air, and so yeah, I really like Star Trek. Of course, I like sci-fi, Princess Zelda.
You're the sci-fi guy.
That's right. Great pick, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here we go. Zelda, what is your next game?
So the next game I chose was Friday the 13th. And the reason I chose this is historically I have an aversion to anything horror. However, I actually enjoyed this game. So normally if anybody wants me to play anything with horror, I'll give it a whirl and I'm done within like 20 minutes. But this game is just so fun to play with friends and family that I played it a lot. Although it had glitches, it was still a ton of fun.
So what is the Friday the 13th game? Because I know Friday the 13th included like Jason and Michael Myers and several other iconic ones.
Yes, this one you can either be a camper or you're actually Jason and you're chasing your family and friends. And so then they're in they go running, hiding in the cabins. I think there's a few different maps, but yeah, it's so fun. And so you don't know who you're going to be. It's not like you can say you want to be Jason. So you never know until the game starts. And then you have different quests that you have to complete in order to try to get away.
Nice. All right, fantastic game. Let's go back to a little topic before. Titan Drago says, I remember back in the day when you even had to have a good sound card on those old Packard Bell CPUs and stuff. I vaguely remember those days. That's right. Oh, yeah. And Splendifer says, man, Naked really likes your podcast, Axel. Tell them to her to subscribe.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, we're in the big time. We got the bots going on. Yeah, he should like and subscribe. He should.
That's right. But back to Princess Zelda's Friday the 13th point. Noof Nukem says, yes, Princess Zelda, me too. Never cared for Star Trek. Felt like a poor man's Star Wars. Whoa!
Right, that's what I thought too, Noof. That's what I thought too, Noof. Even the music was just wanting to be some
boy.
Yeah.
Noof, of all the flavors in the world you could have chosen to be, you've chosen salty.
Oh, you got you there, Noof. That was funny. Back to Friday the 13th, guys. All right, so Friday the 13th. So you get to play as a camper or Jason, and if you're a camper, you got to complete missions, and if you're Jason, you got to hunt them down, right?
Correct.
Do you like being a camper or do you like being Jason?
I like being Jason because I do not like being chased. So yeah, I like chasing.
There you go. All right, Steve, did you play this game?
So that's one of those that's on my wish list. The closest to it I've ever played is like Left 4 Dead. So, Zelda, have you ever played Left 4 Dead?
Yes, for 5 seconds.
Okay. Yeah, for 5 seconds. Okay. Well, if you play it like competitively, one team plays as like the zombies. So you get to have that sort of like jump out and kill experience. So, but no, I've never played this one.
All right. So on the wish list, on the backlog, the never-ending backlog. Doggy, Friday the 13th. Have you played it?
I have never played this one, but I have played. You want to talk about classic games, man. Remember that one that LJN did on the Super Nintendo?
Jesus.
Woohoo!
We're talking about good games on this podcast.
That was, whoa.
See, that's what I thought of. See, Doggy, when she said Friday the 13th,
yes.
I thought that was the one we were going with. I'm like, that is my kind of deep cut.
Right, yeah. That's where we're going with this.
I know. I'm like, okay, here we go. NES, let's do it.
Now, I can't. Man, you talking about digging up the real classics. Princess Zelda, thank you for preserving the real video games. Because LJN, they brought the fire. Every time they brought a game out, it was fire. LJN.
More like my anger got fired up. LJN.
Yeah, right, yeah. Throw it the fire. Light up a fire and throw it in.
You know how you're supposed to find a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow? Right?
Right.
The LJN rainbow didn't leave you to a pot of gold. It led you to a pile of crap.
Yeah.
That's what was at the end of that rainbow. Because that's what all those games were. Okay?
Right. I don't think they made nothing good, man. Like,
all right. Let's check in with the chat. We're getting a little off topic here, but it's fun. Brandon Foltz says, "What's up, Doggy, Axel, and friends?
What's
Thank
up,
you so
Brandon
much for
Foltz?
joining us, guys. People are laughing at your salty joke here. And Snoop Nukem says, "Salty nuts."
Yes.
Woo!
All right. Awesome horror game according to Kilo Milo. Brandon Foltz again. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you. Zelda would scream playing this.
When I was the camper, yeah.
Oh my god, that sounds like so much fun.
It is fun.
And Splendifer says that he loved Jason on Nintendo. So there you go, guys. What another fantastic game, fantastic franchise, and moving to the core because Friday the 13th started as a movie franchise. So yes, and Jason, of course, killing campers, staying true to the source. Believe it or not, I was not allowed to watch any Friday the 13th films because I was too young when they were popular in the 80s. So by the time I got old enough to watch them, I watched them, and by that time, movies like Saw and Scream and other better horror movies had come out. I thought that the Friday the 13th movies were never scary, and I was like, I don't know why I wasn't allowed to watch this. So it's funny. All right, Doggy, what is your next game?
Before I go, man, I have to ask Dr. Steve, man. Just before I forget, before the show goes, just real quick, put you on the spot, man. Like, what was your favorite game growing up? Favorite 3? What was your?
Oh my god!
What game made you? What game made you that gamer? What made
Great
you?
question.
Wow.
Okay,
so like the game that got me hooked on playing video games was Karateka for the Apple IIe.
Ooh. Okay.
So yeah, like I said, I'm old. So that was like the one that kind of like really got me into things. If those who haven't played it, you can download emulation versions of it. It's a fantastic game. They've done a couple of revisions now and then. I think that was like the start of it. On like home consoles, there it is. Yes. So this was the first game by Jordan Menchner of Prince of Persia fame. Who based it on like the kung fu films of that came over in the 60s and 70s. It's kind of low. It's you either punch or you kick, right? But you're there to rescue the princess who's been kidnapped by the evil warlord. I mean, it's about as basic as it gets. Fun fact: if you have the old 5 1/4, and yes, the big square 5 1/4 floppies, if you manage to flip it over upside down and put it in, the whole game would be flipped upside down. So let's see. So that was like the one that kind of got me into video games in general. That and oh my gosh. So if we're going to the arcade. I was a big arcade game player as well. Oh man, probably a tie between Street Fighter 2 and NBA Jam, which I see in the background.
Oh, nice! All right,
NBA Jam right there. Street Fighter 2.
Because I was a big San Antonio Spurs fan, still a big San Antonio Spurs fan. So being able to play, see. I lived like over a decade in Dallas, and it was always fun when the Spurs were really good to go downtown and watch the Spurs beat the Mavs.
Spurs were good.
It was a good series. It had some good games.
Oh my gosh,
no, but those were like the two that like really kept me into it after the video game crash. And NBA Jam kind of turned me on to sports games in general. So as the Genesis came out, man, I would play back when EA Sports made good games. I played a lot of EA Sports games. Right. Gosh, I'm trying to think of a more modern game that I play a lot of. Because my last one would have to be Civilization 4. As like, I play everything. So like, asking me to narrow it down to 3 games is like pick which kids I love more. It's just like it's hard for me to do. Civ 4 probably would be my number one like all time hours played. Gosh, I've got well over 3,000 or 4,000 hours just on this version that I have installed on my computer now. The mod that I like to play is called Rise and Fall of Civilization because I'm a history nerd. My bachelor's is in history. It does a really cool job of telling history. Is a mod called Rise and Fall of Civilization, which it's different. So if you're into Civ 4, play it. Just be patient. So if you like, hey, I want to play as the British because people, I guess, like playing as the British. The game simulates itself differently each time. Until the British traditionally rise. So every time you play it, if you start later in the game will have different starting conditions based on how it randomly simulates up until that point. So if you want to talk about replayable, that's like one of those games that I would. It's like one of the 3 games that would take you to a desert island. Civ 4, Rise and Fall of Civilization, power and a computer that can run it. Food, I don't need it. Drink, okay, and. But I don't need it. I've got my video game. I can last hours, so days, weeks. So those are my 3.
That was awesome. Thank you.
Great question.
What a great question,
answer.
Doggy. Yeah,
great
answers. Wow.
Yeah.
Yep. Thank you.
All right, so I have actually turned on subscribers only chat, guys. So these guys are going to send there at least going to subscribe.
We keep blocking him and he keeps coming back anyway. I don't know how how he keeps coming back, but
and Fastback says I heard my Spurs.
Yeah,
man, they dominated for a decade or more. Old Tim Duncan, man, was the man. I'm telling you. And the coach, I can't even remember his name now.
Coach Popovich.
Popovich. Yeah. Wow. Awesome. Yep. Great team around him too. You know, they have Big Shot Rob on there. That would go on forever. Yep. Great team.
Yeah. Let me hold on. Noof says if I was mine, I would kick this tick. We are kicking him. But
I keep putting him in timeout every 10 seconds. And he still keeps coming back out. Remove him. Yeah, he's removed too. Yeah, and it doesn't work. And I just keep putting him in timeout every so often. He still keeps coming out because that doesn't work.
Let me go ahead and add some more mods into this channel here.
There we go. Yeah, throw some more mods. Do a little defense. The defense team right here. Should be messing around. IVGP.
Noof came by, and those bots tried harder than Zelda to come on to me at the casino. Memories.
You should have seen him in those work pants.
Whoa!
Oh,
was he working those pants?
Yeah, he was. I still remember that.
Was he like?
I'm not shaming. Not shaming.
Was he like? Oops! I dropped a chip. Let me pick it up.
I would be carrying my drinks. I'd be like.
All right. Man. Oh, great. Where were we?
Probably mine.
Doggy, yeah, you're game.
Yeah,
Doggy, you're game.
Yeah, and I asked a question. That's right. Yep. So my next is going to be with. Okay, when you think of a great early '90s movie, what do you guys think about? What do you think?
Of a great '90s movie?
Early '90s movie. When you think, I'll go ahead and answer for you, man. It's Terminator 2, Judgment Day, man. That movie was flawless.
It was
flawless from the beginning to the end. You know, you had action, excitement, you had you had humor, you had sadness at the end. Yeah, you had all this. You know what I'm saying? And they brought out games for the Super Nintendo, the Game Boy, the Genesis. They were all like side-scrolling beat-em-ups, and they all stunk. But this game right here, Terminator 2 Judgment Day in the arcade, light gun shooter, 2 guns. This game was awesome, right? Tough as nails, right? Quarter muncher. But yeah, I remember me and my brother watching this movie. I remember seeing this game at the Galaxy Arcade, 2 guns. we go to play this, and this game, you couldn't take your if you took your finger off that trigger for a second or moved it, like those power-ups down there. If you went down there to get that power-up, you better know when you're doing that, because if you go off of those enemies, you're done for, man. They don't stop, man. But this game was really, I love light gun games like Time Crisis and stuff, but like this was way before all those. This is like one of the first great ones, if I remember right.
Yeah.
This was early on,
only,
light gun.
Man. This was,
and it was a good light gun arcade game. And it's like early on, like this was before a lot of those good ones. So, but anyway, this game was tough as nails. I remember that level that was like there was like a truck or something, and these Terminators are going along with them, and you'd lose like 20 lives in that level. I couldn't ever get past that part with a pocket full of quarters in the arcade there. They brought this to Super Nintendo, like a port to Super Nintendo, so you could end up kind of playing it there, but it wasn't the same. Yeah, this game was great. It even kind of followed the story of the movie in a way, but yeah, just for a great game. This was a great, and this, like I said, was an early light gun shooter, and it was just fun as could be, you know. So yeah, my pick.
Awesome.
My pick. Second pick.
There you go. What a great pick. Let's check in with the chat right here. How could Princess Zelda fall for that Joker? Pun intended. Hello, I am the ace in the hole. There you go. All right. Let's see. Let's check in other stuff. John 979 says Lost Boys.
Early 90s game. Yeah.
Yep. Early 90s movie. Yep. And Terminator 2 was awesome, bro. And my wife says Police Story. She means Police Academy, I think.
Oh, Police Academy. I don't think they had a.
Yeah.
I don't think they had a video game. They should have though.
Yeah.
You asked about cool early 90s movies though. She's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. There you go. Yeah, that was a cool early 90s movie. Yes.
Steve, did you play this game?
Oh my God! Yes, between this and the Aerosmith game that came out after it.
Oh my God!
Right, Revolution X. Yeah. Or
yep.
Right?
There's that stroll down Amnesia Lane. Am I right? Like this is one of those ones that I think, like with Star Wars, it stayed. While it didn't follow the story exactly, it was close enough that you felt like it. And so that's what made it so much more fun, is that they treated the material, even if it's over the top, they treated it with some respect.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, absolutely. Is actually based on the Colorado Offensive. I don't know if you guys know your Terminator lore, but the Colorado Offensive is the offensive that took place right when Skynet was destroyed, and they sent the Terminator back to try to stop it.
Mm-hmm.
So I do believe that this game is trying to tell the side story of the Colorado Offensive.
Okay.
Yeah, just pointing that out in case you didn't know. Yes, I am a nerd like that.
That's pretty cool, though.
Yeah.
Good lore.
Princess Zelda, have you played this game?
I did. I love the movies and I love the game.
There you go. And I'm sorry to have cut you off, Steve. If you have more to say, you can say it. No. All right. Let's see. Noof Nukem says T2, the arcade game was great. It sure was. Let's see if I can say this. No. Let's see. Titan.
What was?
Titan, do you know what your lovely wife did the other night? She completely humbling to Chris, Peter, and me. I'm not sure what you did. We might need a story time, Princess Zelda.
They're awesome. There's nothing left to say. They are awesome. They're entertaining. They're engaging. And I appreciate all of the entertainment they provide for all of us. Thank you.
Absolutely. Oh, okay. So my wife says Police Story. She says it is a Hong Kong movie. Okay, so it's an international movie.
Okay.
Okay. Fastback says this reminds me of Contra. Maybe it could have been.
I could see that one level. Like I could see that. Okay, that second level, and yeah.
Noof Nukem says great 90s movie, The Crow with Brandon Lee. Great movie, awful game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, awful game. Awful game.
Yeah,
Bram Stoker's Dracula going on.
So Terminator 2, the video game, is the arcade game. Is one of those games where you just had to pump. It was either get good or pump quarters.
Yep.
And I was the pump quarters kind. So I was not very good, but I did like that it was 2-player because, growing up, me and my little brother would play everything together, literally everything together. So I have memories of this game with my little brother. And I really cherish those memories of playing with my little brother now that I'm older, right? But so I did play this game. I never got very good at it. So I never finished it. Did you ever finish it, Doggy?
No, I never finished it in the arcade. I mean, that would have took, who knows, like, you'd have to have like some fat pockets. It'd have been hard to walk into the arcade with that many quarters.
I think it was like
like I said, that
play. I mean, it was
that level where the truck level, that right there was enough right there to, that'd take me out right there. I think that was like the third level. It was like a truck, and those Terminator guys would run along beside it, and they looked all crazy the way they ran and stuff. Yeah. So that was it. That was pretty much it on that. They released it on the Super Nintendo, so, but it wasn't the same thing. But yeah, I got farther than that thing.
Yeah, and then now we got everybody talking about 90s movies.
All right. There you go.
All right, let's see. Mike Mullis says Dracula CD, decent movie, horrible game. Exactly.
Yeah, right.
Jackie Chan, it was in Police Story. Oh, I love Jackie Chan. I might have to watch that one now.
Okay, yeah.
Let's see.
Remember Dracula.
Rumble in the Bronx, Jackie Chan's first American film. It was awesome. It really was. That was a great one. Yeah. I loved that. General Spartan says early 90s movies, hard boiled, and inspired the 2007 game Stranglehold. I never even heard of that game. Huh. Anybody heard of that game here?
Strangleholds.
No.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
All right. Well, we're going to move along now. My next game.
Good stuff, chat, by the way. Awesome.
Yeah.
You know what? My next game is so iconic. I'm not even going to play the video. I'm just going to let you guys listen to this intro.
Ooh,
take it all in.
Okay.
And bask in the glory of my next pick.
Okay.
All right. Go ahead and enter Gen Leg State.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I did.
So my next game, of course, is none other than 007 GoldenEye on the N64. Now, this game had time. Obviously, this game came out 2 years after the movie GoldenEye. And if you haven't played this game, guys, and you're older, you're in my generation, you missed out on something special, man. This was multiplayer at its peak. Not just multiplayer, but the campaign at its peak. I don't know what else to say other than this game was. I feel that this game was like the first super viral sensation of the modern, of the post Sega Genesis, Nintendo console wars. Because of course you had, games like Final Fantasy VII that got a bunch of hype and stuff. But GoldenEye, I don't remember ever seeing a commercial for it. But everybody played it by word of mouth. This is the game everybody was playing together. I would go to high school parties, and there would be stuff going on that I'm not going to encourage any kids to do. But we also had N64s playing GoldenEye at these high school parties. So it was just so sensational at the time that you could literally just waste your time. And the unlockables on the game were fantastic. The unlockable characters. You could just play the game through, not unlock anything. But if you got yourself that, EGM 007 GoldenEye special magazine that showed all the unlockables, man, and you got them and you did all the little tasks to unlock everything, you were playing. When it came to multiplayer, you were playing better than everybody else. Not better like you were better, but a better game. Because the unlockables were so rewarding for the multiplayer in this game. So, yeah. Princess Zelda, not sorry. Whatever. Let's go to Princess Zelda. Princess Zelda, have you played this game?
I love this game for many reasons, and I'll tell you why. Because my son, I don't like the blood and gore for him, because when he was little, I let him play this, and he was so excited to be able to play a shooting game that actually he fell in love with James Bond. And so then this game actually got us all watching all of the James Bond movies together. So it was like special time for us just because he started playing this game.
There you go. So a game led to even better memories.
Yes.
Absolutely. Steve, GoldenEye 007.
Yeah. Oh, so this was college dorm. We had one room with an N64, another room with a PlayStation. And we would play this all the time in multiplayer. And there's a special place in the dark place for people that chose short round when playing multiplayer.
You mean Oddball?
I mean Oddball. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it Oddball? No, it's short.
His name was Oddball.
No, it's short round. Oddball. Yeah. Odd job.
Odd job. That's what it was. Yeah, because I remember playing Slappers. No,
I'll get there. I'll get there. I promise. Yeah. Odd job, because his hitbox rested below the default angle for like shooting.
Yeah, the default. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was always a pain in the neck. Odd job. There he is.
Odd job. That's right. So Titan Drago says 007 was the first game I remember having limb-specific damage, and the AI reacted to it. It was awesome. Yeah. Absolutely. Loved it. Axle1324, you were playing GoldenEye while others were playing closet games. Yeah, I was a good kid growing up. I don't know what you're talking about, right? No drinking, no drugs, pure body, pure soul, clean of mind, clarity.
Sound mind, body, and soul.
That's right.
That's how you have to be that way if you're going to win multiplayer.
Right. Yep.
While these guys were wasting their life playing beer pong, I was trying to get these tournaments winning. Okay, I mean, what would you rather have these days? Beer, kids. I was beer pong champion at high school party. March 30th, 1992 or whatever. 1997. Or would you rather say, guys, I was the best GoldenEye player in 1997? Just saying.
Exactly.
I'm kidding, by the way, guys. By the way. Yeah. I'm not going to put that comment out there, dude. Yeah. Doggy. GoldenEye 007. Did you play it?
Oh, yeah. The story was awesome in this, but kind of like you said, people be sitting around, at least the N64 version, and I remember that the four split screen thing going on, and we'd just be sitting around playing that together, and it was just so fun, and I loved how you could look at the other person's screen, kind of see what they was doing while you was looking at your screen, and you just get so good at that, what I'm saying? It was just
peeking.
Yeah, and the controls were simple, but it was so fun. Yeah, just a classic, and the story was cool too. But just playing this together, like you said, doing stuff you shouldn't have been doing, but everybody was sitting around taking their turns playing this game. Yeah, it's good memories playing this. One of the definite classics of gaming history right here. Yep.
Yeah. I think this is probably up there in the all-time greatest games list.
Yeah,
just based on its influence in modern gaming. So yeah. All right. I think that's gonna do it for round 2, which means, guys.
All right.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This evening's game is called What Game Is It? You will see a brief 10-second clip of a video game based on a movie. Your job is to guess, what game is it? Are you ready?
Ready!
Woo-hoo!
We are ready. Yeah. Well, I'm not ready.
Jago in the house. He is ready.
Here we go. All right. So I will show a 10-second clip of a video game based on a movie, and you just have to guess which one it is. All right. And that's it. That's all you get, guys. So, are you ready, guys?
Yes.
For your first clip. And again, I don't know. I kind of don't want to put that part on there. Whatever. We'll roll with it anyway. All right, here we go. Ask your community. All right, guys. Choices are up in the chat. Are you ready for your first game?
Yes. Let's go.
Yes.
Give me a second here while it loads. It's having trouble loading. There we go. Here we go. 10-second clip.
It's for hobbit heads. They will break convincingly in the dark.
All right. Which game is it?
Oh my god.
Princess Zelda. Which one is it?
It's clearly Return of the King.
All right. Return of the King. All right. Steve, which one is it?
Oh, gosh. I'm actually going to go with the Two Towers.
Okay, 2 different picks. Doggy, which one is it?
Oh yeah, clearly, man. If you know anything about Lord of the Rings, it's the Two Towers, man, and you can trust me. Right here. Make your selection now.
It would have been better if you would have done that Rod Van Dam thing, like, you can trust me, doggy, dog.
4, 2, 0.
That's right. You need to make that your thing now when you're on video.
420 thing too, Yep.
That's right. Just do the Rod Van Dam thing.
All right.
Oh my god, so fun. All right, yeah. Just go ahead and chew that over, chat. Chew it over. Which Lord of the Rings game is it? And I think that's enough time to chew it over. Here we go.
Chewing has been done. What do we got?
All right. So the correct answer was the Fellowship of the Ring.
Oh,
man.
Wah, wah, wah.
I should have tried to be different.
Maybe I need to put cutscenes in to make it a little more obvious. All right.
Two Towers just sounded good to me. It just sounded like that was it.
All right. So that being said, Zelda, how did the chat do?
Just as well as we did. With 10% going with Fellowship of the Ring.
All right. Respect to that 10% right there.
Yep.
You know your
And
stuff.
half of the chat going with Doggy.
Doggy dog 420.
That's so funny. All right, give me 1 second while I get this one ready.
RVD was so awesome too. You guys, do you guys ever see him in ECW when he's in ECW when he's in his prime, man? That guy was awesome.
Yes. Hold on.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm trying to find this one because I don't want the version that they're giving me here because it is not the version I want here.
That's right. I just kind of like jamming with this music.
Yeah, jam to the music.
Nothing really. Remember the first night at the island games, and we did the Jamaica music or whatever, the Rastafari.
Yeah.
And we were just kind of drinking, and I drank those margaritas, and I about passed out on air. If it had been like 2 minutes longer, that would have been an epic, iconic thing that would have happened just right there.
Yeah, you were like,
ever, and I passed out on the air.
You're like, you want to play after the show? I'm like, sure. I'm
Yeah,
like,
I'll be there.
Doggy.
I sat down to play with you guys, and I don't even think I got the thing turned on. Yeah, the margarita tree got me that night.
It is a
The
delicious
margarita
tree.
tree.
That's
What it was.
Okay, here we go. Are we ready for our next set of questions, boys and girls?
yeah.
Always, man. Always.
Oh man, it's too long. Here we go.
Hey, let's just go. No choices. We got no choices. We're just gonna throw
Here
this.
we go. All right,
just gonna
there
guess.
are your choices, guys.
All right.
Let me get this stream started here.
I would have never guessed this without the choices.
That's the Flying Dutchman? She doesn't look like much.
Neither do you. Don't underestimate her. Now then, what's your plan?
I row over.
There you go. That's it. Okay, so that should be a very good indicator which one this is. Princess Zelda, which one is it?
I've seen them all, and I've ridden the ride at Disney, and I know the theme and the plot, but I can't think of what it's called. So I'm going to go with At World's End.
Well done. Okay. Steve,
Yeah,
which one is it?
I'm going to say at World's End, Pirates of the Caribbean.
All right. And Doggy, are you going to follow these guys?
Yeah, you know, my ship's already sunk a couple times. Better row that ship ashore and just go with these guys and whatever they said. I don't even remember what they said, but yeah, that one.
All right, so 3 Outworlds.
Hold on, I don't even know. Here, let's see if I can actually guess which one they actually said. Oh man,
A second game, a side game.
That's right.
What did they say?
What did they say? All right, in the meantime,
the third one, the curse. Yeah, the curse game. Yeah.
The curse game? Okay. Jago Kugan joins us. Hey, Jago Kugan, thank you so
Jago?
much. Appreciate it.
Still on for some Godfall here after the show. Woo!
Jago Kugan says, Steve, how you doing?
Keeping it real, taking it to the streets. You know.
Yeah.
All right, RoboCop, the Data East Arcade from back in the days, fantastic movie-based game. There you go. Oh man,
That's good.
That's another deep cut.
That was good. Who said that?
Respect too.
Jago did.
Nice, Jago.
Yeah.
And Dreadpool joins us.
Dreadpool.
Dreadpool, thank you so much, Dreadpool. We appreciate you.
Dreadpool in the house.
Jago Kugan says, Sea of Thieves, Pirates of the Caribbean expansion.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Sea of Thieves.
All right, give the chat a few more seconds here. And yeah, let's go ahead and stop that now. All right, and the answer to it was Dead Man's Chest.
No way.
Yes. Okay. Now, if you watch the clip, I put a clip in here.
Yeah.
I said that's the Flying Dutchman. It doesn't look like much, which means it's the first time they're seeing it. And that happened on Dead Man's Chest. I tried to give it away, guys. I tried.
That still wouldn't have. You'd had to have told me to have gave that away. Yeah. Okay. All right.
That
was good, though. That's good.
Zelda?
That's a good one.
That was good.
25% got it right, so that's good. That's better than the last one. We'll take it.
We'll take it. 25% of the chat knows what they're talking about. They paid attention. Unlike Princess Zelda, who had seen all the movies and was on the Disney ride.
No, I couldn't place which went with what at what time. That's what happens late at night.
All right. That's going to do it for intermission time, guys. Now, Steven, I'm going to save you a game for last on this one.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah.
It is a little self-serving.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, just because I want to talk about it.
Right.
Okay.
So here we go. Princess Zelda, what is your next game?
So I did not play this game until quite a few years after it actually came out. And actually I didn't watch the movie until quite a few years after it came out because I was only 8 when it came out. But I chose Predator because Predator was one of the first games where I was just enthralled by the movie. I was blown away by what I was seeing. I'd never seen anything like it. And I even saw the watered down version on TV where they take out most of the gore and all the profanity because they used to do that back in the day.
Right.
And I know this game isn't even remotely, often not remotely like the actual movie, but I just was so like amazed by the movie. I was really blown away just by that was like my first experience with anything like that. So I had to play the game and I thought it was a ton of fun. So I chose Predator.
On the NES, guys.
Yeah.
Now, this is Predator on the NES.
Yep. Often nothing like the movie, but still fun.
That looks like Contra.
Let me go back to the
That looks like
this
Contra,
LJN
doesn't
game.
it?
I gotta see this. Hold on.
Is this LJN?
Is this LJN?
Yes.
Let's see.
LJN was like the first like real like license. That's all they did was
that's what they did. Yeah, I think that's what it was. Licensed junk.
Now.
What's the N stand for?
Now. Licensed junk now.
It doesn't even say it. Let's see. Does the end credits say it? Hold on. I gotta see this. Congratulations, you have survived. That's literally it. It doesn't even have a credits. Look at it. You see, this is how you know even LJN knew they were making trash. They didn't even give the game proper credit. They didn't even want to take credit for this game. Hold on. Was this an LJN game for real?
LJN.
That looks it looks a little high quality for an LJN game.
Ouch!
Ouch! This was Activision.
Yeah, there you go. This looks Activision-ish. There you go.
Really?
Yeah.
This is Activision. Yeah. So if you go to mobygames.com,
man,
Moby Games, it's a video game database, right?
Yeah.
And you type in Predator, and it's going to bring up every Predator, and then you can sort by console.
So
we'll bring up right here.
Wow.
Game Predator. Developed by Source Software. Published by Activision.
Yeah, Activision's been around for forever. So
there you go. Yeah. All right. Sorry. We got sidetracked on finding some information. Steve, have you played this game?
Despite my extensive history of playing a lot of bad games, this is one I have not played.
Of all the bad games in the world, you had to pick the one.
Of all the bad juke joints in the world. Yeah, no, I have not played this one.
Let's see. Jago Kugan comes out for Alien Isolation from last gen. Is a great movie-based game as well. Yes, it was.
Yeah,
it almost made my list.
Right, yeah.
Jago. Let's see. In fairness, they have never made a good Predator game, but the movie was epic. And what Dr. Doggy said was salty. You must have been talking trash about LJN. And you're right.
Oh yeah, it's LJN's. They're awful. I mean, they were. Ugh. Yep.
Doggy,
this is
in Predator, the video game on NES.
That whole loop of you could just loop that GIF right there and just like be thoroughly entranced by. Like,
look at this right now! Look at this right now! Wow, that looks like it. Even looks like it controls like crap. I mean, oh my god!
I know, but when I was a kid and I got to be him, I thought it was amazing.
Right? Yeah. But yeah, that's the way games were. Yeah, back then you're like, oh yeah, this is cool, man. This is this has been the way life was for this guy. His life must have been a little rough too.
Watch out for those dots, man.
I actually did not know that this game ever even existed because the Predator I knew was the SNES version. So I never knew that there was even an NES version of this game.
No, this looks like a bootleg version of the SNES.
There he is.
So funny. All right. That's a pick. Princess Zelda, that's a pick.
That's awesome.
That's a good pick. That's a good pick.
Yeah.
That is a pick.
Oh yeah. There's never a wrong pick. There is never a wrong pick with your memories of any video game or what fun you had. Exactly.
That's right.
Never.
Thank you, Luis. I see your comment.
Aw.
Yeah, she says, "Don't make fun of Princess Zelda's game choice." That's right.
Oh no, but
we're not laughing at her. We're laughing near her.
Yeah. In the vicinity, laughing in a circle here. All right.
Yes.
What's a circle laugh? All right, Doggy. What's your next game? Great, but good pick, Princess Zelda.
Yeah.
Lewis, my wife is right. If you have good memories of that,
I do.
Of Predator.
Oh, that's awesome! Yeah, I love this stuff. Like if you remember, like Top Gun back in the day, and how fun it was, like flying around, and how hard it was to land a plane. And you always crash at like real short of the aircraft carrier or fly over it. Yeah, it's fun while it lasted.
But that happens a lot to me. Like I remember how great something was, and I go back to it. I'm like, wow. Like the movie Prancer. I remember begging my family to let me get. I'm like, this was the best movie ever. We have to get Prancer, and we got it. I'm like, ooh.
Was it though?
Yeah, right.
You watching?
Yeah, but they were
It's
nice
so
enough to got it.
Like, I do that with music. Like I used to really like music, and I used to listen to it. And I remember playing this music for my dad. I was like, "Dad, you got to listen to this. It's so cool. It's so good." And my dad, because my dad was a trucker, so he had like a really good sound system in his truck, right? In comparison to like our crappy family car. And so I put it in his truck, and I would literally sit in his truck to listen to music because it was much better than anything we had at home. And he sat there and he was just like, "You listen to this?" And I go, "Yeah." And he goes, "This sucks." And I was like, "No, it doesn't." I got so offended by it, right? Fast forward 10 years, I found that. And I played it again, and I was like, my dad was right. This sucks. So it's just so funny how as kids we enjoy stuff, and as you get older, you finally, experience starts coming in.
Yes.
So yeah. Doggy, what's your next game?
Jago Demolition Man 3DO. That's good. That's good stuff there. I see that. Before I go, we got to remind this for later. I want to hear about the Aeon Flux. You can write that down. Hear about that.
Okay.
Yeah. You can write that down. Axel,
Okay.
or we can talk about it now or whatever. Yeah, I want to hear about that since nobody maybe might not come up. I'd like to hear about that anyway. Mine I'm gonna pick is there's the demolition man there. Mad Max, and shout out to Mad Max Fury Road. What a great movie. What a great movie, so I'm sure everybody's seen it, so I don't have to see it. But anyway, one of my favorite games of the last generation was Mad Max. I think this game was highly underrated. And after playing Grand Theft Auto 5, I needed some kind of sandbox open world game, and this just happened to fall into the mold. And just everything about this game is great. You start out with nothing. You got to build yourself up. You got the Magnus Opus with nothing. You're stripped of nothing. You got nothing. You go to start going and exploring the land. You find scrap. You start finding strongholds. You start finding friends. The combat in this game is I don't want to say second to none, but it's pretty darn good. The driving mechanics in this game, for just not being a racer, for just going across the lane, is so great. I love the in-car view with the big hood scoop in there, if you can see it on some of these. In the convoy battles were just to die for. Battling inside of the car, going and raiding camps, going and kind of planning out how you're going to do this. Oh my gosh, just building up your own stronghold, building up your weapons. The combat, I've already said that. The combat in this game is just incredible, kind of like the Batman games, but not the Nemesis system. I won't say it that, so I don't get cut yet. All right, but it's some brutal good combat. This game, I'll keep rattling on all night. This game is $4.99 all the time, guys. If you have not played this, do yourself a favor and play this. It's got a pretty decent story. The story not that great, but it doesn't matter. The mechanic, the combat, the driving in this game, the exploration, the sense of progression in the game, the map, the way the map opens up and everything is just perfect. This game, one of the most highly underrated games of the Xbox One and PS4 era. Yeah, if you haven't played it, spend that $4.99 when it's on sale next time. Get this. I'm telling you. There's just not much to complain about it.
There you go. All right. Fantastic. Princess Zelda, Mad Max, have you played it?
It looks almost as good as Predator.
Whoa, okay. I need a little sap for that. Burn. A little sap for that burn.
I'm kidding. Zelda. It does look way better.
Princess Zelda,
I love it. I love that Princess Zelda. That's good
Princess Zelda has chosen violence at the end of
the salt is spreading.
It is.
Oh my goodness! Wow, you made fun of her game. She's going to make fun of yours, guys.
Thanks, you got to do it. That's right. Awesome stuff.
Oh my goodness! Wow.
See, I knew this game, so I've played it. I love it. Witness, but you know it's a game when Max's shotgun actually works. Because if you've watched the movies, the shotgun never works.
That's a good point.
So you know it's a game because the shotgun worked.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Even if it is such a good game and it is such a faithful translation of Miller's world into an interactive format. So even if you have just a passing interest and all you've seen is Fury Road, like it's all there and you should play it. Even if you are kind of iffy on Mad Max, it is just in general a really awesome post-apocalyptic game.
Nice. So I actually was never interested in Mad Max, the franchise, at all, period. And then I saw Fury Road. Holy cow. I've been missing out. I have been missing out. Fury Road is amongst one of the greatest movies I have ever seen in my life. For me, it has all the elements men love. Cars, post-apocalyptic,
right.
Explosions.
Great concept to grasp. You don't hear the backstory of the bad guys. You just get straight into it. Screw that backstory crap. Right?
Right.
You just get right into it. I don't know why Mad Max was captured. I don't know why he's going crazy, and I don't care. But it was still told well. and the combat in it. And then I see the trailer, and Doggy Dog showed me a 5-minute trailer earlier today. And I got to tell you, this is now officially on my backlog. I haven't played this game, but I think I'm going to eventually
That trailer's
play it.
awesome, isn't it? That trailer's it pretty much tells it, man. It's cool. It's good stuff.
All right, let's check in with the chat real quick here. Let's see. Mad Max is phenomenal. Very, very, very underrated.
Yes, Jacob.
If you're a fan of the combat in the Batman Arkham games, I think you love the combat in Mad Max.
Right. Yep. That's what I was saying.
Cool game, Doggy Dog. Checked it out back in the day. I enjoyed the story in the game. It was an 8 out of 10 for me.
Yeah.
And then this is when Princess Zelda chose violence. Lots of laughing. Even Jacob Cookie was like, "Wow, what?" Hey, Gone Mad. He says,
party people.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Fastback says, "What a great game." Louis Vian says, "I love seeing other reactions when Princess Zelda said the fact."
Oh, my phone's dead. My phone's dead. I can't even react to the chat. My phone's a stinker.
Full Red
battery
Shades,
don't last
I think
no
the game was better than the movies. There you go.
Wow.
And Jago thinks that it deserves a sequel.
Oh, I so wish it didn't even get any DLC, which man, that game could have even just went with that. But yeah, a sequel would have been great.
And that I need to watch the older Mad Maxes. Maybe I will. You never know.
Especially if you play the game, boy. I'm telling you, you'd be all into it then. It's good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Good
and
stuff.
I am going to go with my third game. Now, my third game is the GOAT of video games, okay? There's no better video game in the history of video games than this game. And, of course, and licensed movie games. And, of course, I am talking about E.T., the extraterrestrial on Atari 2600, baby.
You stole my game, man.
That's right. Who guessed it up here? I know somebody guessed it. Give me 1 second. Jingo Coogan. The best movie game ever was E.T. and the Atari. That's right. This game was so awesome that nobody bought any more video games after buying E.T. I couldn't even take it, you know? This game was so influential, it single-handedly crashed the games and ruined video games for an entire generation of people here. Okay? And it is so good that 30 years later, people went to New Mexico and dug up all the buried copies in the New Mexico trash dump just so that they could have a chance of playing E.T. on their Atari 2600s. That's right. That's how good this game was. E.T., baby. Princess Zelda, E.T.
Yeah, that you nailed it. I was waiting. I didn't want to take it because I thought somebody else would.
Steve, E.T.
Yes, I owned it on the Atari 2600.
See, he ruined the video game industry for everybody.
Yeah, I ruined it. And fun fact, I do an entire lecture on why this is the scapegoat for the video game industry crash. They didn't cause it. They just happened to be released at the same time. And you want to know who caused the video game industry crash? Activision. Activision caused the video game crash.
Wow. Who would have thought?
Yeah. No,
Bobby Kotick do something evil in the video game industry? Who would have thought?
Yeah. No, it's so fun fact, this was created in such a short amount of time that it's one of those poster boys for why you should not crunch. Because he did it in a couple months, the designer who made this game in a couple months. And he got it done under budget and on time. But it's a hot mess.
There you go. Yeah. And apparently Steven Spielberg played this game and he was impressed. So there you go. Yeah. So Jacob Coogan says it was so good they had to bury it in the desert. That's right.
Preserve it. Time capsule.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's right. Doggy Dog. E.T., is this the greatest game ever made?
Oh yeah, I mean this one ranks right up there with the classics of the day, like Smite. Yeah, of course you got to include this on the top games list of all time. We're right there. I'm not sure which Smite.
And of course, guys,
Smite, E.T., Superman 64. I'm not sure which one to put.
Of course, guys. I am joking. That is not my third pick. I definitely thought Doggy was going to take it.
I should have done that. Yeah, I had emotion, but
no, my third pick though is a great movie tie-in game. It is, in my opinion, the best movie tie-in game of all time. So I am gonna pick. Hold on, I just got to the best scene. I gotta go back a little bit. All right. So I am gonna pick the movie, the game that is so important to the movies that it tells part of the story, and without it, you kind of think the other movies suck. But if you played this game and were able to go through it, the movie lore makes a lot more sense than you think. And that game, of course, is Enter the Matrix. Here. Now, Enter the Matrix takes place between Matrix. Oh, God, what is the second Matrix movie? And is it Revelations? The second and third Matrix movie. Now, this tells the story of Niobe and Ghost. You can play as either character. They each have diverging paths and converging paths in the game. So, like, if you play as Niobe, when you're on the highway scene, you're driving. But if you play as Ghost, you're shooting. So it's really cool game. And, of course, this game was controversial, not because of its violence or anything, but because it was the first female kissing in video games at a cutscene. So it was also it was controversial on that front. But other than that, it was also a great game. You get to fight a helicopter. You get to do the Matrix time, the focus. They call it focus in the game. You can do your focus, and you got your focus meter over here on the right-hand side. And it is a freaking phenomenal game that I feel got panned for no reason, because the combat was good. The story was, if you like the Matrix, the story was fantastic in this game. Anybody else play Matrix? Enter the Matrix. Anybody? Princess Zelda, did you play Enter the Matrix?
Unpopular opinion. I couldn't get through the movies either. No. I know.
Wow.
It's just sci-fi in me. It's other than Star Wars.
Yeah. Okay. So there you go. Yeah, The Matrix to me was amongst the greatest movies ever. But that's just me, guys. That's just me. Steve, The Matrix. Enter the Matrix.
This was such a good game. Okay, as a game, it wasn't very good. As an experience, and how much the Wachowskis were involved in its creation, and how they tried to keep it like
they wrote for it.
Yeah, they didn't want it to just be some random tie-in. They wanted, if you were going to pick the game up, that it was you're going to sink your time into playing the game. It was supposed to mean something in the larger universe. I loved it. Like I said, it's not the best game, and it's kind of ugly, and it was definitely produced in a lot of crunch, but they got it done, and they tried to keep it a part of, make it a very interesting, rewarding experience for fans.
Yeah. I really like it because, as I said, it tells the movie. You got cutscenes with the actual actors. So here's the controversial cutscene I'm talking about. Right, guys? Close your eyes if you're offended by this, I guess. But while this cutscene loads, Doggy Dog, The Matrix, Enter the Matrix. Did you ever play it?
No, and I really didn't. I've never watched Matrix stuff, right? I don't think, if I remember right, So no, it's not my cup of tea, my bag, my whatever, So that's just me. I'm not like big buff of that kind of stuff. So
yeah. So of course, sci-fi. I love sci-fi guys, and I played this game through and through. I still have it. Now, this is not to be confused with The Path of Neo, which was an MMO, a Matrix MMO. This is Enter the Matrix. Takes place between The Matrix Reloaded and The Matrix Revolutions. And again, controversial for what it is. It got panned by critics, but I enjoyed it. And I don't know, maybe I just enjoyed the clunky combat. So There you go. Uh-oh. Things are heating up over here, guys. Let's see. Again, this is the Merovingian's wife. Oh, here we go. And there you
Persephone.
Go. That's right, Persephone. And that was the first girl-on-girl kiss in video games.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it was highly controversial because of that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So yeah.
That's cool.
All right, guys. With that being said, let's get out of here. I'm with you, Axel. The Matrix is one of my favorite sci-fi franchises. Yeah, I liked it. The last movie was kind of a little cheesy, but hey, whatever. It's a movie. They should have done like a Matrix TV show or something. Oh my goodness. I just made a mistake. I'm sorry, guys. I got to take a little time.
That is okay. There's never nothing wrong with making some mistakes.
Yeah.
With that being said, guys, now I got to reshare everything. Hold on. Give me a second here.
Oh, good. Oh, good. Awesome show. Man, this has been an awesome show.
Yeah.
We're up on almost 2 hours, and it doesn't even feel like 2 hours. Like
I know.
Like 45 minutes. It feels
I've
like
been heavily entertained.
I know, and I'm like waiting. I'm dying to hear the last game. We've been patiently waiting for this.
Yes.
Are you not entertained?
I know. Oh, yeah, the last. Yeah, wait a minute. Yeah, we got another 45 minutes coming talking about this awesome game, man.
Now, before we get into this last game.
No, please don't stop. No, don't.
All right, guys, I have a little something to pull up here, right here. Okay, so Dr. Stephen Mallory is going to pick his last game, which is, what is it?
So, at the risk of sounding self-serving, it's Ghostbusters, the video game.
Oh, now, in case there's any denial here, guys, so real quick, check it out right here. This is the end credits to Ghostbusters, the video game. There's his name, additional design, Steve Mallory.
Yes, so
and you can see the name of the Ghostbusters, the video game walkthrough, the ending credits.
So I worked on the game through pre-production and into production and got hired away by another studio. So that's why I have the additional design credits on it. So Doggy, this is going to tie into your request with so let me take a step back and say I was on the team that worked on Blood Rain 2. And right after Blood Rain 2, we worked on Aeon Flux. So there was another movie tie-in that was Charlize Theron for MTV Games, for MTV Films, and we got to do a tie-in for it. That team was combined with two other teams that were in-house at Terminal Reality to work on Ghostbusters, the video game. There was a small team of like 5 to 8. There was a team of 30 or so and a team of like another team of 30 to 40. So for Ghostbusters, they were like, we can't have separate teams. We're all coming together. And so our team had come in with the most experience in working on these sorts of games. My area of responsibility, because of my programming background, was in combat design and AI design. So so I'm going to get a little technical. When a lot of games are developed like this, you usually have a single programmer that develops AI systems that designers then kind of put together to make enemies, things like that in the game. In this case, we had, for Ghostbusters, the video game, there were specific requirements on the type and number of monsters we were supposed to have, which was a lot more than we had in previous games. So my biggest contribution to this whole process was helping design and develop a very user-friendly, in this case, the users being the designers, way of assembling monsters so that they could be quickly prototyped and implemented before much concept art or things like that were done, so that we could spend more time building levels, making fun engagements, without worrying about bogging down the artists and things like that. In the event that a level or a character didn't work out as being fun or something like that, we'd get them solid, we'd get them fun to play with, and then once they're done, then the artists could go in and they could make everything.
That's so cool.
So it was very, very modular. And we could assign specific qualities, like a turtle was an enemy that required a special attack to break their defense. An archer had a ranged attack. A brawler had a melee attack. and they all expose different values that the designer could go in and modify in their game using the ugliest placeholder stuff you'd ever use, and then they could make their game. So in the end, a lot of the stuff that I first worked on made it into the prototypes and things like that we shipped off to convince Paramount, I believe, was the rights holders for the interactive games, and Dan Aykroyd, who still is the property holder for the Ghostbusters franchise. Like, he still owns the intellectual property. It's under his control. And so we had to sit there and basically put something together that was respectful enough to the property that he would agree to let Paramount make the game. It is, I think, one of the reasons why it has such a cult following and still has a following, and it got re-released, was that the team that came in from Aeon Flux tried our best to be respectful and embrace the property. So we wanted to make sure that there was enough in there, enough sort of fan service that folks that remembered the films fondly would get something out of it, while the next generation of kids whose parents loved Ghostbusters had enough familiar gameplay and interactivity that they would be able to play it and enjoy it as well. It was a lot of fun to make. Without getting too deep into it, my pick. Obviously, I worked on it, and like I said, very self-serving. The level that's coming up in this playthrough was, I believe, part of the package that we had shipped off to Dan Aykroyd and the rest of the stakeholders to kind of prove what we were making was possible and to kind of show him the potential for everything. Let's see, a couple fun facts about this one. For example, when we first did the prototype, we had our own in-house sound designer, sound engineer, who was re-recording and sampling all the stuff from the series. But at the time, we didn't have any of the voices. I had a really bad sinus infection, and so the sound guy pulled me in, and I did Egon before they got it's not Reitman. Where is it, Reitman? But yeah, I did Egon before we got Egon to kind of prove to him. So no, it's a great game. I really recommend you picking up the even if you're not all that familiar with the universe. Like I said, we treated the property right. We took it seriously, and I think it shows.
That's fantastic. I have a question. Did you meet any of the actors?
No, unfortunately not. And yes, Bill Murray did come back for this. He did come back to do the voice. Dan Aykroyd was very much like he sold it hard, and he showed them that this was not just because was it Bill Murray's not one for sequels. Right, he doesn't really like doing sequels of the work that he's done. In this case, Dan kind of convinced him that this wasn't really a sequel. Like, this was a way that he could do a new take on the character through voice acting, and I guess that's what he told him because he bought into it. He enjoyed it. So, this is. You can get an original version. They do have a remastered version for the latest and greatest consoles and graphical performance. But yeah, this is a good one.
There you go. Fantastic. By the way, chat, if you have any questions for Steve, let us know in the comments. Go ahead and ask your questions. If he likes your question, he may answer it. Princess Zelda, Ghostbuster, the video game.
Yes.
Have you played said game?
I have played it, and then I reacclimated myself with it this past week. And I've been having a ton of fun.
Awesome.
Another little thing about it is that one of the characters is named for my grandmother.
Oh,
so when you go through the library and you run into the Gray Lady,
her
name is Eleanor. Her name is Eleanor Twitty. That was named for my grandmother, Eleanor Kellogg.
Wow.
And yeah, she a lot of the backstory behind Eleanor being, finding a cursed book and driving her mad and stuff like that came right out of that was for some of the original brainstorming we had done for the prototype for this level. So, and Dan Aykroyd apparently really enjoyed the backstories and stuff that we were giving to the ghosts. So
awesome. I know Doggy's gonna go crazy on this, so I'm gonna go before Doggy. Doggy, no offense, because I know this is one of your favorite games of all time.
Doggy doesn't ramble, does he? A little much.
So, Ghostbusters the video game. So I first experienced this on the Wii. I wanted to get the Wii version for some reason. I don't know why, because I just thought that aiming with the Wiimote would be so much more fun. But I come to find out that they changed the Wii version so much that your name's not on there.
It's an entirely different studio. Yeah, it was done by Redfly.
Different studio. Yeah, same story, same everything. Gameplay's a little different. Looks, of course, downgraded, all that good stuff. But what I like about the Xbox version is, if you look at this, guys, there is no HUD. There's no HUD. Your health is on your proton pack. Your energy is on your proton pack, and so the proton pack reacts to what you're doing. It's so creative. And then when you use this, what is this thing called?
The PKE meter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, your PKE
meter.
The PKE, and combine it with the goggles, you can step on new ground. I mean, how did you guys come up with that stuff? To see, not just to see the ghost that you couldn't see, of course, Gray Lady being the first one you do that on, but to also, create new platforms to walk on. And then you turn around and you see your friends doing it, and it's like they're walking in thin air. It's really cool.
Yeah, it's, that's, I don't want to, that. It's, in programming speak, it's just different materials. Mm-hmm. So you have a material that can only be seen when a certain filter is placed over the camera. Right. In this case, with the PKE. But yeah, the PKE meter was a lot of fun. It was originally kind of concepted and prototyped by a designer that I think she works at Naughty Dog now, Amelia Schatz. This was their baby. Was
the
getting
PKE was so great in this.
It's so great. Yeah, Amelia, she worked on The Last of Us, The Last of Us 2. So I mean, she's a heavy hitter now. And yeah, the PKE meter and basically, to answer your question, Axel, it's like a filter, like you put over a lens, right? Like a blue light filter or something like that. That the material and stuff is there. It just checks to see if you've done certain things, and if all of those things check yes or no, yes, then you can interact with it.
Right.
That's so great.
That is so cool.
All right. So with that being said, we are going to turn it over to our number one Ghostbusters fan on the show, Doggy. Go crazy, my guy.
Oh my God. I'm probably not even going to say everything that okay. Wow. That must, for you, Steve, this must have been great to have been a part of this. I couldn't even imagine, dude. I watched the Ghostbusters original film back when I was a kid so many times, 100 times, 200 times, I don't know, so many times, man. Just I loved it. I was infatuated with the ghost thing, just the whole everything about it. I didn't even understand all the content, but I loved it anyway. Man, and just cereal. Remember the cereal that came out? I had to mention that to you. I forgot I was going to say something about the cereal. Remember the Ghostbusters cereal? Slimer and the real Ghostbusters. Remember the cartoon? How great that was. Okay, all right. So, this game was an absolute blast. Okay, so I love the first two Ghostbusters films. If this wasn't the third film, then I don't know anything that wasn't. This has to be. This was the third film. I mean, there was as far as I know, this is this. If there was a third film, this is what it was gonna be. this is what it was going to be. Oh my gosh. The destruction in this game, you could destroy everything in your path. Capturing the ghost was an absolute delight. Throwing the trap out there, and you had to go up there and you had to get him with your proton pack and throw him down there. The PKE meter.
With especially with like the taser at the end of the PKE meter, it just makes it so useful.
If you want, for those that are still picking up the game, if you have the opportunity, play it on a console, or if you have a force feedback capable controller on your PC, play it, because you can turn your proton pack on and off. And Doggy, you remember this, I'm sure. When they first turn it on, you hear that like, right?
Yes.
If you have a force feedback or rumblers in your controller, it'll rumble for you briefly when you turn on and you turn it off. So when you first turn it on, your controller is like activating.
Such a cool game.
It is.
Yeah. So you go back and you revisit like that hotel from the first movie. The music's all there. Like, I mean, if you are a fan, this will make your hair stand up. There's even an achievement in the game, and the flowers are still standing. Right? So I mean, this is the ultimate. And this game is just, if you ever in your life as a kid or now ever wanted to be a Ghostbuster, this is your chance, and this is the closest you're ever going to get right here. And you got 2 chances to play on a 360, like I did, and then remastered on the Xbox 360, PS3, and then Xbox One, PS4. Man, play them all. Man, this game was just, woo. I can't say enough about how great this was. Like, the achievements.
Go ahead, Doggy. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you go ahead. I'm done.
I was going to say a fun fact about this as well is that after it was launched, they asked Dan Aykroyd about his experience with it, and he said that this was as close. Now, this is before the most recent sequel came out.
Right. Afterlife. Okay, yeah.
Right. Afterlife came out, but before that, he said this is as close to a third Ghostbusters movie as they could make, thanks to computers, since a lot of the main cast had said that they'd moved on and things like that. This is as close as they could get to it.
Right.
So
this was a third movie. If you loved the first 2 movies, there wasn't a third movie. They could have. This is the third movie. Like you said, this was as close to a third movie as you're going to get, because it was. I mean, this was an excellent story. Everything about this game was excellent. The music, the gameplay, the level design.
Well, even the random events, like you can stop and drink at a fountain, like unexpected random events.
Right. Well thrown.
Interact. What's it going to do? He gets a sip of water.
The destruction, the trapping the ghost. Man, this is
the marshmallow minions.
The different kind of weapons you put into the pack also was fun.
Yeah.
Right. The different kinds of blasts. You had that little shotgun blast, style in there.
Oh, yeah,
we tried to give just enough variation that it wouldn't get stale, but we also wanted to stay true to the IP, in that we didn't want it to be like a third-person shooter like Gears of War. That's not, even though we borrow some combat mechanics are very similar to Gears of War, that's not the game we're making. We're making a Ghostbusters game, and it's not about blasting stuff. It's about the sense of humor. It's about having a little bit of a tongue-in-cheek view of things, but also scares and characters you care about. And I think that's where we nailed it.
Staying true to the story. This, I'm telling you, if you have just any bit of love of Ghostbusters, you're going to love this. You're going to love this. I mean, this is just...
And then when you go into Ghost World, as they call it, right? Initially, as they call it, right? Only the real Ghostbusters, the cartoon show went into Ghost World. They went into their, not really Ghost World. They would go into their giant vault of Ghost, which had turned into its own little community and stuff. But you guys created like an alternate dimension, Ghost World 2. You started the levels with familiarity, Ghostbusters 1, Ghostbusters 2. And then you went into Ghost World, something that had only kind of been explored in the cartoons. Where did you guys get your inspiration for that kind of stuff?
A lot of it came from Dan Aykroyd, actually.
That's so awesome.
So, yeah, again, because he's the IP owner and still owns all that stuff and is in charge of that, then it's all about, for him, it was making sure that the story matched up with where he wanted things to go.
Right. Oh my gosh.
So, like I said,
it's
he
so cool
was.
that Dan Aykroyd is still involved in this.
Oh yeah,
well, you can tell, yeah, like it's so true to everything, man. It's so great.
And so the other thing that if I recall correctly, that he was pretty impressed with was the fact that. So if you've paid attention to Ghostbusters, they usually have a description for the ghosts, like Slimer is a class 4 free floating vapor.
Yes, right? Yeah.
We actually kind of came up with that classification system in Tobin's Spirit Guide to actually describe how difficult or powerful a ghost was when you scanned it with the PKE meter. Right. And you would know where and how to fight it based on those qualities. So if you take the time to actually scan them with a PKE meter and read those, that gives you a hint. It's like, okay, this is going to be an easy fight. Oh, this is going to be a hard fight. Just by taking the time to be a Ghostbuster, to find the ghost, to scan it, to study it, because you're supposed to be a scientist, right? Yeah. So we needed to reward players who didn't go in guns blazing, who stayed true to the IP and engaged with things like a Ghostbusters would.
There was an achievement actually for scanning all of the poltergeists in a playthrough or something like that, right? Yeah. Yep. So,
there's an achievement for going down the pole.
And for going down the pole, Yep.
Yeah.
You got to try this. I think is the name of the. I think this is the name of the achievement.
You guys got to try this pole.
Yeah. So see right there.
Try this pole.
So here it is, and you got the lore behind it, everything, such detail. So in Ghostbusters, the video game is widely considered by the community to be Ghostbusters 3, right? With the original cast of characters in it, voice acting at least. And everything else. But more than that, the community has recognized Ghostbusters, the video game, as one of the greatest movie tie-ins ever made. As of 2019, I believe was the last time they did this ranking. The best movie-based video games, according to Metacritic, Ghostbusters ranks number 8. So it's the 8th highest movie tie-in video game on Metacritic. How do you feel with that? That not only awesome. Did you guys generate a cult following with Ghostbusters, the video game, that it's so good that people consider it the third movie, but also that it's on the top 10 highest rated movie tie-in games on Meta.
I think that we were lucky. The whole team was lucky because compared to, as I mentioned, with other movie tie-in games, they usually get like a year to do it. And I think by contrast, because this was made between any interest in the films, like there was an interest. You know what I mean when I say, like, I don't think there was any films actually in development while this was going on, compared to more recently. And so you've got, I think it was the right place at the right time, given the right amount of time to percolate and to develop. Without the sort of pressures and constraints a more direct movie tie-in is required to have, right? Like the Mad Max game. Like Fury Road came out and they made the game after the movie while the movie was fresh, but it wasn't a direct tie-in.
Right.
So they were able to give it the sort of time, care, and attention to actually make a great game that was true to the IP. So I think that that's by far is, and I think that time also let us, as developers, put in the small touches that fans of the property appreciate, like spending the time, like Craig and Jen, who are two programmers that were really working on getting that beam to look like the beam in the movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. And the whole sound department getting the sounds in that.
And you guys did that so awesome. It came through. People are noticed that, man.
We cared. We cared. Yeah. This was as a studio. We cared that it was going to be a good Ghostbusters game.
You
Not just a good game, but a good Ghostbusters game.
I loved how you had a Slimer in the hotel, and you had to get him, and then he went in the dining room again. He went in the dining room, and you had to go get him, and that was such. And they even played the same. Ooh.
Yeah,
and then you look through the glasses. And then if you got it, if you did the right thing, you even got an achievement that said the flowers are still standing. You know, that's good stuff.
That whole Hotel Sedgwick was essentially
there you go, Sedgwick.
What we sent the publisher and Dan Aykroyd to say, we don't just want to make a Ghostbusters themed game. We want to make
it right.
Right. And we showed it to them, and we showed them that. We showed them some, I think this level as well as a boss fight with Stay Puft, because
this was awesome, yeah.
You have to have Stay Puft and his marshmallow minions, right?
Yeah.
But we also showed the Gray Lady in the library as a technical thing.
I love
if you have a chance, load up the library again. You will find every book is a physics object. You can knock every book over in the library.
Yes, you can.
And Princess Zelda, if you like getting scared, and I say like, just take the time to really look around the children's area of the library. It is creepy.
You mean where the twins are hiding?
And you'll hear like little laughter. You'll hear like little kids laugh, and it'll echo, and you'll hear them playing, and that is like hands down the creepiest part of that level. Like you're walking around going, okay, I saw children laughing and handprints appear on the wall, and you're like, I'm done. Like check.
And that's such awesome attention
that's so
to
fantastic.
Detail. So much care put in this game. That just shows right there, and And that attention to detail, that care goes into every single level, every single detail that goes into the story. Man, the
marshmallow minions.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, everything that's put in this game. It was
hiding in the rafters.
So good. This game is so good.
So
definitely
Coogan putting in sorry, doggy, sorry.
No, go good, Jacob. Go and put it with Jacob.
Jacob, just interacting with the chat real quick. He says, looking at the reviews of the remaster on Xbox right now, 99% of people gave this game 5 stars.
Right. Yeah. I mean, if you, man, this game was so good. Even if you didn't even understand the whole Ghostbuster thing, it's going to fill you in. It is so good. But if you ever watched one of the 2 first Ghostbuster movies, oh my gosh, you understand it fully. And it just, it takes you in, and you're sucked in, and you just and that story just tells a whole nother story that goes off of those. It is, of course it's going to be on his list, but if that wouldn't have been on Dr. Steve's list, I definitely would have had that on my list. Because that's one of my favorites from those gens was regular and even the remastered. Man, what great games! I loved them, both of them. I love the Ghostbusters, man. Just the lore. Loved Ghostbusters. I was a Ghostbuster kid. Like I said, cartoons, the movies, the Ecto Cooler, and all of it. All of it. It was all good. Man, who didn't love Ecto Cooler? You guys, High C, what are you doing? What are you doing? Bring the Ecto Cooler back out. We all want it. We all want this stuff. Come on, bring it up. Bring it back up. Just saying. I'm not saying. I'm just saying.
I'm not saying. I'm just saying. All right, so here's what Dr. Mallory was talking about here. Here is the kids' room. Let me see if I
remember this.
So
I remember this. Yes.
Somebody's in here.
Right.
Children.
So there you go. You can actually scan the kids. It's something.
Oh,
it is something.
That PK meter's awesome. Yeah, great addition.
With all that being said, again, thank you so much, Steve, for being here. But thank you, not just that, but thank you so much for being part of a game that means a lot to a lot of people.
Right.
A lot of people feel that the Ghostbusters film, especially with the third film, the official third film, right? That the property was disrespected. But at least that what you took a part in was not disrespected. It was well received by both the creators and Mr. Ackroyd.
This was well respected by the gamers and a lot of people. This really is received by the community as the third movie, and that's the way people feel. Like that's the way I'd really take it as. Is that the Dan Aykroyd and I thought I heard that even Egon, like before Egon passed away, like he had like a part. I don't know if that's true or not. But no, I have heard this is like the unofficial third movie, and when you play this, you can't argue that fact. This is so great. So yeah, bad props.
I feel very lucky to have been a part of it. I was in the right place at the right time.
I'm very jealous and very jealous and very humble and very I love the work you did. Thank you so much for the work you put out on this because great.
So Titan Drago says ecto coolers are almost as good as Smite.
No, we can't. Well, okay, I'm not. Yeah, okay, I'll give you that.
Diego Coogan says we don't talk about that certain Ghostbusters movie. It doesn't exist. Erase. So I just like the design choices that went into this game, and the people when you power up the proton pack. I think that's what it's called, right? The proton pack.
Yeah.
Yep.
The noises it makes. When you switch weapons, the noises those make, because you can hear it cycling, right? The fact that the HUD was intelligently done onto the pack itself. The fact that you guys went into Ghost World, which is the level after this, hint, wink, wink. And you took it into a direction that kind of was never done before. Like, you captured the familiarity, and then you went into the new stuff, and you told a great story along the way, and you felt like a Ghostbusters. Like that is the thing. Like wrangling the ghost, they don't want to get trapped, and so it's just one of those things that is a fantastic game. Highly, I know you have a cult following with it, but I still feel that it's underappreciated in a way.
Yeah, I think that the big. Go ahead, Axel. I'm sorry. No, I was going to say I think that you hit it right there on the head. Right, is I think a lot of movie tie-in games, when they're successful, they make you feel like you are a part of the world of the movie you enjoyed. Mm-hmm. So even going back to Princess Zelda and the Aladdin, it felt like you were playing that Disney movie the fantastic movie, right? Yes. Same thing here. It felt like that not only were you experiencing this game that just happened to be Ghostbusters, but it felt like you were, as you mentioned, part of a Ghostbusters film. And I think that right there is, I think, the big distinction why I think some video game movies are terrible, but some of them are really memorable and long lasting. If it makes you feel like you're a part of it, a part of the film, then there's the great lady. A part of it, then it's going to get that. It's going to get that following.
Absolutely,
and that is why this got that following, because this was on point. This was it's on point as you could get for just for a movie that was so loved. So loved, and you guys redid this that way, and to make people say yes, this was the definitive third movie. You guys did great. I loved it. Like you said, I felt like I was a part of it from second one, and nothing felt like a chore in any of it. The trap and the ghost felt great. The PK meter felt great. Everything was great about this game. The story, of course, the music was just, of course, you guys threw that music in there because you can't get any better than some of that music in that Ghostbusters, So, but yeah, man, you guys.
That's spoilers right there. That's spoilers.
Jacob Coogan says, "Is Gozer the Gozerian in this game?" I can tell you, he's at least mentioned.
Gozer the Gogurian. How does that?
Yeah.
Rose ass.
Gozer the Gozerian.
Again,
Yeah,
thank you so much.
Ass Gozer.
Thank you so much, Steve, for being on this podcast.
Thank you.
God, we've run long, and my apologies. I've had a lot of fun.
It has been one of the more enjoyable episodes, if I'm being honest. Because if I run long and I'm not really into the topic, it's not that I'm not really into the topic, is that I consider the time. Maybe I'm having just a lot more fun on this topic.
Oh my gosh! Is it not? It's 9:30 and we started at 7.
It's 10:30 for Princess Zelda.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah, 10:30 here too. Yeah,
2.5 hours. You talk about an awesome show, and it didn't feel like, but like maybe, like I said, maybe 45 minutes from now. Man, talk about a good time. What a great show. Take us away, Axel. Finish
Yeah,
this up.
let's
Great.
we should do it again sometime.
Yes.
If you ever want me back, let me know.
Right.
Oh,
And
please come back.
Tell us
Please
how
come
people
back.
can reach out to you, how they can join your classes. and all
Yeah,
that.
so if you have questions about wanting to get into the professional world of game design and development or things like that, definitely hit my slide into my DMs there at MaldalSteve on Twitter. Otherwise, you can drop me an email at smallory, SMALLORY at LTU. That's L as in Lawrence, T is technological, U as in university, .edu. And I will try to answer any emails or direct messages as soon as I can. The semester is getting ready to start on the 22nd, so I'll definitely be in my office answering emails and messages far more frequently than I am right now. But if you do have questions, comments, concerns, let me know. I'll try to answer it, and if I can't answer it, I'll try to find the person who can.
There you go. All right, guys. With all that being said, again, you guys could have spent your Friday night, the last 2.5 hours, doing anything else, but you chose to spend it with us. And that's why you guys will always be the MVP. The chat will always be the MVP to any of my shows. We appreciate you. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe. Tell a friend or two about the show. We really appreciate it. As always, guys, we're just going to make this quick. I'm Axle1324.
I'm Princess Zelda. There's Doggy.
Oh, yeah, Doggy Dog 420. No, I'm just kidding.
And we'll catch you guys next week, guys. Thanks so much.
Woo!